is closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.
Hello everyone and welcome to Live at the Bike, brought to you by the Bicycle Casino in Los Angeles, California, the first and only webcast of real action cash game poker. My name is Bart Hansen and tonight I'm joined by the poker babe, Shirley Rosario. Tonight, on Wednesdays we normally do our 30-60 limit game, but we're changing it up this week and we're going to do a 300 to 500 restricted buy-in no limit game. The blinds for this game are 5 and 5. The yellow chips are $5 chips. And normally players stack their chips in 20 chip denominations. So a stack is $100 and a rack is $500. Let's go around and introduce the table really quick here. We got Rob there in seat 1, Brian in seat 2, Bud in seat 3, Nicole there in seat 4, Ross in seat 5, Paul in seat 6, Sed in seat 7, Andy in seat 8, and Brian there in seat 9. As you can see, we've got full cards up here, and we're going to see a flop to start off the night. Looks like it's 8, 6, 10. It looks like someone's flopped a nut straight right off the bat. It's Brian there in seat 2. Let's see how he plays it. 15. Gonna put out a $15 bet.
That's not a straight unless we have it up
top
wrong.
pair, excuse me, top pair.
Yeah, top pair, straight draw.
Top pair and a straight draw. And Nicole has got the straight draw, and she is gonna call there with the jack 9.
4 players.
And Paul's in there with a 9-2, the gut shot. So we're gonna see a turn card. Turn is a 5. And Brian still looks to have the best hand here with top pair and a straight draw.
15.
And he's going to put in $15 here again. And Nicole's going to come in here.
This is fun. I like this game.
Nicole
15.
is open-ended.
Bet 15 on the room.
And she's going to call. And Paul's still in there with
Those
Queen
are really
nine.
small bets there.
Yeah. See the river. River's a 7, and that's going to give a straight there to Paul. Paul's going to have a straight, but Nicole's going to have the nut straight here, Shirley, with jack 9.
Right.
So let's see how much she bets. Looks like she might have checked it. Looks like she checked a sneaky check there from seat 4.
75.
And Paul's going to make a move for $75. So
Well, she didn't check there, Bart. Paul was first to act.
it's the buttons in seat 5.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's kind of
Shirley.
hidden. There we go.
Yep, there we go. So he's bet $75.
Make it 170.
And she's going to make it $175. And I like that raise because it's probably going to be enough there for him to call.
I think he'll call, yeah.
Yeah. So she's going to raise it up to 175. And he says, what the hell? I call. I got a straight. And he says jack high straight is good. And that's what she's got. She's got the jack high straight. And she takes down a pretty nice pot there.
Yeah, he let me.
Probably somewhere around $500.
Let me build up my stack.
There's a lot of commotion going on. Sounds like a jackpot.
Well, as you can see there in the background, and it's good to have you here, Shirley, telling me where the button is and such. We've had a little bit of a chaotic day.
Right.
We apologize for coming on a little bit late. We're in the midst of construction here at the bike, knocking down the plaza wall, adding new tables. We've actually moved our commentary booth, and we had to rewire all the tables. That's why we're about 15 minutes late for the show. Again, we are doing a $300 to $500 restricted buy-in no-limit game. The blinds in this game are 5 and 5. The yellows are $5 chips, and the purples are 25. And it looks like Nicole has got
She has a
she's
whole
got a
bunch
stack
of money
of purple
there.
there
Yeah.
too in seat 4.
Yes.
Easy money, C4.
She's got at least 800 in yellows,
$30
and another
$30.
at least 500 in purples. So she's got somewhere around 1,300 in front of her. Now seat 2, he's going to seat number 7. Sed has raised out of the small blind with just a queen jack off suit.
Is that Sed or Saeed?
Saeed.
I think so.
There we go. And Brian's going to come in with a call with jack 6 off suit. Wow, look at that flop. 6, 6, 10. Trip sixes for Brian in seat 2.
Well, it has to be, yeah.
15.
He's going to put a little tiny bet out there, Shirley.
4 8s are better.
$15.
100.
Oh, look at this. Saeed check raises with just Queen Jack. He makes it 100, and he's in big trouble. What do you think? A smooth call is in order here from Brian?
Well, I don't think no matter what he does, I don't think he's getting any more money from
Saeed.
Saeed, yeah.
You wait for the tournament?
You don't think Saeed might take a shot here on the turn?
Well, no, I think he was taking a shot here, not thinking that the player would have a 6 in his hand.
Well, he's definitely representing an overpair by making that move.
Yeah.
Shirley, by check raising with a ragged flop there.
$525.
And it looks like Brian
Yeah, well, I'm
is
gonna
just going to make a
he
flat
just
call.
called.
So we're looking at about a $280 pot. The turn is an ace.
Ooh, he's
And
not
look at this.
stopping.
Saeed moves all in. He's got a gut shot straight draw.
Not quite 400.
And now
here,
if I'm
boss.
Brian, am I thinking, have I let him maybe make aces full on me? But in this game, I'm probably going to make this call with only
He's not
225.
going to do it. He's not calling.
He didn't call?
He didn't call.
Wow. No, he did call. He did call. And a jack comes on the river. He said call. And he's made jacks full. I couldn't believe
Yeah,
that.
he flipped those cards up. I didn't think that he called.
No, but you can go look on the internet and find out.
2 1/4.
So Saeed was making a strong bluff there with the ace.
Jack 10.
And, Saeed put a lot of chips at risk there, Shirley. But with that ace coming on the turn, that's a mega scare card for someone with just a 10.
I almost played
So-
Jack 5. Not that that would help. But I just thought you might be interested in those.
Brian there in seat 2 picks up a great,
Two
nice
and a
little
quarter, right?
pot.
Thank you, boss.
You know what? Well,
Again, we are here live at the bike.
how about 700?
We apologize for the late delay. Those of you that are just tuning us in, we're doing a 300 to 500 no limit hold'em restricted buy-in game. The blinds in this game are 5-5. My name is Bart Hansen, and I'm joined by Shirley Rosario.
We're already in for
And there's a lot of things going on here at the bike, Shirley. We're amidst construction, as you can see in the background here. We're knocking out the plaza wall. Had to rewire the table. And some of our tech people have been working hard for, Jesus, must have been, 18 hours?
now this time it was Jack.
Something like
The
that.
last day. And so again, we apologize for coming on about 15 minutes late.
25.
Seat number 6 there. That's Paul.
Paul.
He's going to come in for $25. Looks like he's just got a suited connector. 7-8 of hearts. And he's going to get a couple of callers. Seat number 8 there has pocket queens, and it didn't look like he re-raised
re-raise
there.
from the
Wow.
blind.
He didn't re-raise. 7-8's picked up a gut shot straight draw. Now queens is out ahead. It's a ragged flop. 5-10-4 rainbow.
I'd check.
And seat number 8, again, he's checked again.
He checked. I figured Paul would put a bet there with a gut shot.
And he's going to put $50 there.
Now he's going all in.
And that's exactly what queens is going to do. Boy, that's a dangerous way to play the queens, though, don't you think?
Huh?
And there's a couple of overcards
He
that
said
get
all
hit.
in.
Well,
And
he
I-
will win this hand.
And I
I'm
imagine
sure.
Paul's going to weigh this one down. It was about $100 in their pre-flop, so he's going to win probably $150. Paul would need to catch a 6 here, or a running combination of
Running hearts.
hearts or 2 pairs,
Right.
to make this call. I couldn't believe that he would make this call on such a weak draw. And he's not going to make the call.
No.
And seat 8 there, Andy takes it down. Got a little tricky with the queens. I think he got a little bit of lucky on the flop, but
Thank you, Andy.
interesting.
When he called third, when you,
That hand was for Preston Blair.
and then he raised and you said something.
He appreciates that.
I hope Kristen's been watching and continuing to re-click from the demo as we came on, again, a couple minutes late tonight. But we're all set now. And we are doing a $300 to $500 restricted buy-in game. 5 and 5 are the blinds. The yellow chips are $5 chips, and the purple chips are $25 chips.
Oh, good shot. Well,
Yeah.
I'll take my chances.
Okay.
Now, Nicole must have traded back up for quarter chips.
For quarters, yeah, those purples.
Yeah,
It-
but she already had some.
far.
So
So maybe at the end of this hand we can get a shot of her chip stack. Actually, we've got
Yeah.
a chip
All
count
in.
right here. She had 1,200 before she won that other pot, so she's probably got 1,500 now. Now look at this. Someone's moving all in, and it's seat number
Saeed.
7, Saeed with pocket fives.
71, 171.
before this game started, I've been playing with him all day, and this
Oh, the
was
$1
not the
doesn't
impression
play?
I got that he was so reckless.
170.
2-3.
Well, there are 3 limpers. 3
I had a
limpers
big tournament
before.
once, a major tournament. I was bluffing all the way at the end, and I hit the gut shot on the river. The guy called me all the way down. So what happens?
170.
Can't imagine. Well, you know,
That's
you
a huge
wonder
overbet of that pot.
if Brian.
Brian, you're quiet.
Now Brian has them covered, but still pocket nines.
Preston
It's,
Blair
Not
show.
always. Sometimes we can get you
The
talking.
Godfather.
unless you
does the
want
same.
to gamble, tough to make this call.
You know, Preston Blair was also a Godfather, was he? In the Civil War.
600.
Well, there's nobody. With 600. Well,
And it's still on him here.
Yeah, well, it was on Rob, and he
Give me-
finally decided
push me
to
out
fold.
one stack just to make sure that
Now it's up.
And he's still thinking about it here, Brian, in seat number 2. It's a $171 raise, all in, so he'd have to call an additional 166, I
Yeah.
believe, as he had limped in. And he's still thinking about it. Well, I think the question is he thinking, is he making a move like this with a mid-level pocket pair, like 6s, 7s, or 8s? You
Right.
would normally see someone do this with 5s, but he could have 8s or 7s. And then surely you got to go through your head,
take your blue.
you know,
Well, if he has,
wow, look at this. I think
Separate it first.
Brian did call, and now Paul is going to call. So I was wondering, Brian had some chips in front of him. Brian said
170 is
call,
what it cost you.
and now Paul is going to call. So we've got 2 people all in pre-flop.
Only
The
for
pot's going to be about $520. And this is some unbelievable. Paul's calls
plus
with
a
the
little
10 jack
side
off
pot
suit.
here,
Yeah. Wow. Paul had a little bit more than 171 there in seat 6, so I think it's creating a slight.
I'm just amazed at this.
Slight
I mean, they
sauce.
limped in for 5, and then all of a sudden it's worth $166 more.
Yeah.
It was worth that much.
So
Raise the
here we
pot.
go. Let's see the flop.
9.
Wow,
Look at that.
set of 9s there for Brian. Now Saeed's got a 5 of clubs in his hand. He's the only one with the club. All clubs on the board. A 3. Now a 4 would give Saeed a straight. No, an 8 comes. And set of 9s is going to be good there, surely.
9
Wow.
times 3, set of 9s.
You know, Brian flopped a set of 9s on the flop there, but on the turn, Saeed had a good amount of outs. He could have caught any 4
Right.
or any club, and he would have won the hand. Boy, you normally don't see this type of action at this table. Now that's about a $520 pot
Should
there.
be. Everything was broken down. You had everybody covered.
You need a wrap? You want to try it out?
Oh, there's her chips. She must have sent a chip runner off to get 500
Yeah, so she's
more.
got about 1,500 there.
Yeah,
Now again, in this game, you can only start
with 500 max.
500. In the game, I know it only started about an hour ago, so she's done pretty well.
what's her name?
Who's that? Jennifer or Nicole?
Yeah. You know what other game
This is
Preston?
Nicole, that's Jennifer.
Preston Blair also invented 7 stud.
Oh, really?
Back in the 1840s.
Now the funny thing there, Shirley, I was saying is
You making a lot of money.
trying to figure out a range of hands to call with, say, pocket 9s. You know, if he has 7s or 8s, you're in good shape. If he has an overpair, you're in very, very bad shape. And if he has something like ace-king, you're a slight favorite, so you kind of weigh those
Yeah, but
odds
you're a
up.
slight favorite, but he had only invested $5.
Right.
So,
it's a-
I mean,
it's-
that's an easy
right. It's like
fold.
it's a coin flip, right?
Yeah.
Usually the chances that he's going to make that type of bet, the chances of him having a better hand than you with an overpair is probably more than ace-king, and then the chances of him having a pair under you are even less. Now, just in that case, it actually turned out that that was the case.
Which is it? Which is it? You're gonna
Again, we are here live at the bike. 300 to 500 restricted buy-in, no limit hold'em game. Blinds are 5 and
Which one you
5.
gonna go? This one? I'll take it. Diamond
How much is bet?
20.
20's plenty.
Got a $20 bet here. Flop is 4-10 queen. We've been limped around.
You know spades coming.
Okay, we're heads up.
And it looked like seat H just probably a position bet in there, and Rob called it an open-ended straight draw. The turn is 6, and it goes check, check here. And the river is a jack, and that actually gives Rob the best hand here with king jack. He's trying to go for the straight draw. There's about $50 in this pot. And I don't necessarily know, Shirley, if betting here with second pair is the best move.
No, not really.
You might want to check to try to induce a bluff, you know. But he chose to bet. And Andy mucks. And Rob takes it down. Of course, you can follow a live thread that started every night regarding this show by going to 2plus2.com. Click on the forums link. Click on Tournament Poker, World Poker Tour, and other televised tournaments. And the thread is right there.
You in for 5? Deal you in, right?
And again, those that are just joining us can see the tarp in the background there and the construction. We've actually knocked down
Go ahead.
the main plaza wall, if people are familiar with the Bicycle Casino, adding about 10 new tables
Right.
for Legends coming up.
You can post or you can wait.
And
So we have a new player there in seat 7.
yep. And we were a little bit belated because we've actually moved our commentary booth. And the table is still the same, but I hear that that is ultimately moving as well.
Wrong one. Those don't play here. That's what they told you.
So new player there in seat 7.
Is it?
$30.
Wait. Paul must have moved. Seat 6 is new.
Okay.
Let me see.
Saeed is still there.
I don't think Saeed is there.
No,
I
no,
think
you're
Paul
right.
might have moved. We'll get a better angle.
Okay, we're heads up.
We're heads up here. Seat 2 is going to need to show with cards. Got a deuce 9-6, all spades.
He checks and then he folds.
And the hand's over before we even got it up there.
Yep.
Can we see
You should have just
a
called.
shot of seat 7, please?
You might have got more.
And then he folded before he even made a move.
He didn't even touch the chicken.
Okay.
That is that.
Somebody
So,
must have some
so
kind
Paul
of
has moved
fire
from seat 6 to 7.
No, that's
No,
not Paul.
that's Bud.
Right.
Musical chairs here again, live at the bike.
So Paul left and Saeed left. Both of them left.
Okay.
When the,
And new
the
player
light
on
comes on,
6.
says it's free to check.
That was weird. The worst hand to raise with, you hit 2 pair and the guy checks, and that's the guy just pretty interesting.
It's free to check here.
I never
Anybody got some power? It's not you. You knew you were going to hit 2-9, huh?
You can do it with 2 9s at 600. I can do 9-2 for
It's on you.
Think about raising, I know you
Okay, 3 players.
Three-way action here. Going to the flop. Jack 5-5. Seat number 5 there. He's got Jack 10. He's going to put a bet in there. And Nicole got a free ride, it looked like, in the blind, and he takes it down. So Bud has moved over to seat
You'll
7.
be in.
So we have 2 new players, right? Seat 3 and seat 6.
Yep. And we'll get their names momentarily.
About 12,000.
Is your firm must move? Sure. There you go.
It's the Preston Blair Show. Here we go.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, third hand. What?
Your hand's dead.
on the
glass,
That's all.
Relax. Don't cry.
Again, we are playing 300 to 500 restricted buy-in, no limit hold'em game. Yellow chips are $5 chips. And the purple chips are $25 chips.
5 players.
So who's in seat 6?
Mike, I believe, is in seat 6 now, and seat 3 is Reagan. So new players. 4 Jack Deuce here, 2 spades. Looks like seat 8's got a Jack 10. This pot had been limped around. Oh, Brian in seat 6.
25.
And Andy there in seat 8, he's going to bet 25 on the Jack 10.
It's like 3 to 5. It doesn't have to be 5.
25 to you. 25 to you.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Brian.
And it looks like he's going to take it down
Brian.
there.
Yeah, do it,
And he shows the Jack.
Pockets?
Pocket Jack, you didn't raise?
I'm limping in with you guys. You're too tough.
I'm glad I didn't raise with my ace on the button. I thought about it.
What's that? All right.
Yeah, I didn't slow play either.
Sneaky, sneaky.
You got all the chips.
Thank you guys
I
very
had
much.
a
Good
feeling.
luck to all of you.
I heard you.
Something big.
I heard you won 47 sessions in a row, nonstop. Never,
Oh, that must have been somebody else.
never lost a hand.
Oh, not me.
That was you? I know a guy named Preston Blair who won 900 hands in a row. He was playing with himself.
If he,
aren't bad beat stories.
No,
he
he,
invented the game, he probably should.
yeah, he was playing with himself, you know, playing heads up. He's a good guy. Preston Blair, good man.
Sorry.
So look at the amount of chips Nicole has. Unbelievable.
Now that scares me.
Looks like we get a straddle here, Shirley. Which straddle, of course, is a forced
Jack, 10,
blind, double the size of the big blind, and that person's going to have the option.
5 for 9.
Would you call that a forced blind? Voluntary. Third blind?
Forced bet. How about that?
Okay. I mean, well, it's up to the player to do it.
Right.
You can't raise. Get out of there.
He's forcing it. He's forcing himself into a third blind. How about that?
Okay.
So we got a bunch of callers here. So the pot is $60.
Live straddle, he could
No one raised with their pocket pairs. We got a 9-4-5 on the flop pair. And it looks like Nicole in seat 4 has the best hand. Let's see if she throws a little feeler bet out
We've
here.
got, we've got a few draws here, though. We've got the Jack Deuce of clubs there, and we have the 6-8 for the gut shot. Brian, he might call if it's not too expensive.
And she's going to bet, it looks like
It looks like $20.
20. So you'd imagine that Andy in seat 8 is probably going to come here with the Jack Deuce of clubs. Ross has got a gut shot to the wheel there on the button, and he's thinking about calling, and he did
Right.
call.
Brian didn't call.
Yeah. So the pot's about $110 now. To Andy, it's 20 to call. He's obviously getting a lot of odds here,
Right.
and he's going to make the call.
Oh, it was $30.
It was 30.
Okay.
And Rob is thinking about calling, although I can't imagine that he is going to call. So the pot's $160
No matter
here.
what.
Nicole does have the best hand, but she can't be liking it too much after
No.
so many callers.
The turn is a 10, and she still has the best hand. See what she's going to check here. Ross is going to check with his draw, and Andy's going to check. And the river is a queen, and Nicole still has the best hand. And let's see if somebody tries to fire at it. It's a $170 pot.
75, he said.
What does the 9 deuce do now?
And that's exactly what's going to happen. Andy is going to bet
Right in the crabber.
on his missed draw, and he was actually first to act here. So Nicole quickly mucked, and Ross mucked, and Andy takes down a nice little pot, $170 pot with a busted draw.
Yep.
Thank you.
I'm sure he's feeling mighty proud of himself at this moment.
There was straight draws, there was flush draws.
Queen Jack good.
I couldn't imagine what you had over there. I was liking you betting, though.
I'm going to repeat this one more time for those of you just joining us. We are live at the bike. We're doing $300 and $500 restricted buy-in, no-limit game. The blinds are 5 and 5. The yellow chips are $5 chips. The purple chips are $25 chips. And you can buy in for a minimum of $300 up to $500 in this game.
Right.
We came on a couple minutes late today because of the construction going on. So we thank you for bearing with us and joining us.
Four players.
We're going to see four-way action here. It's been limped around. Got a Jack 9-5 on the flop. It doesn't look like anyone really caught much of this. It got checked around. The turn is a 10 of clubs. And you know what, Charlie? It looks like ace high is still good here. Ross in seat 5.
Right.
Turn it, you can angle it towards you.
And he's actually going to put a bet in here. He's going to bet $20.
You trouble.
She's funny.
You trouble.
She plays that way, but she's deadly
The
inside. She
winners
gets all
all
the
tell stories.
I want to thank everyone that's joining us for the first time who learned about the show from the Reels Lifestyle Convention in Las Vegas.
Another fan here.
Preston Blair also invented
I'm going to give you some action.
the rodeo.
Thank you.
The rodeo. He also invented the rodeo. There's a couple other things he invented.
Wow. Preston
Seven
Blair was
stud,
there.
hold'em, and the rodeo. And you know what? I think he invented education.
I think he needed.
Never heard of Preston Blair? The Preston Blair Show. Good guy. Good guy.
He had a show too.
Yeah,
Wow.
as early as 1960.
Gonna see a limp here in seat 1. You know, Shirley, this is my favorite game in the whole casino because it's a mix of playing straightforward and sometimes you can build up enough chips where you can actually make moves like Nicole has.
This is your favorite game to play or to commentate and watch?
To play. Definitely to play. Because a lot of times people are stepping up from the 200 game and they play kind of scared.
Yes.
But the game has changed over the last few months. Before it was really, really weak, tight. Now some people have kind of moved up and this is their game now. As we see a $15 raise and we're 5 ways to the flop, $75 pot, 7-4 deuce, rainbow.
Hit the razor. Hit the razor.
And Troy there in seat 2 was the original raiser with pocket kings.
And he's still only betting
And he's only going to bet
$15.
$15. Boy, he's playing it dangerously. So the pot's $90 and it's 15 to call here. And luckily for Troy, no one really has much of anything to
And
call
I think
with.
that $15 might. Yeah.
Yep.
Guess that's all he needed to do.
And he shows the kings. Well,
Two kings.
kind of the theme of what last week's show was. Terry and I was talking about how, you know, good poker players try to gain information with the least amount of money that they possibly can put into the pot. Now, I wouldn't recommend playing it exactly that way, but we saw Russell Fox last week get cracked a whole bunch of times with overpairs because somebody had just flat called him on the flop and picked up something huge on the turn, or had already picked up something on the flop. And you know, he bet his whole stack 500 instead of saying maybe bet 150 and see where the guy was at. And instead, you know, he only got called by a hand that really beat him.
Could beat him.
And he got cracked a bunch of times. Pocket queens here for Nicole in seat 4, and she's gonna make it 40 to go.
Keep saying that. Taking my money, girl. It's all right. I think it's still some of mine that you have. So.
There's nothing like having good table image. And she's been a pretty big winner so far. Again, this game's been going probably for an hour and a half.
Does she have the image of being really tight on the table? I haven't played with her, so.
I think she's a pretty tight player, but I'm just saying, you know, you sit down at a table and you see the fact that she's won $1,000 in the last, you know, hour and a half, and she hasn't been doing anything stupid. She hasn't shown down. She's not the type of player that's going to show down some ridiculous hands.
No. Let me guess though. What's his name invented it?
Preston Blair invented it. Preston Blair
Well,
invented it.
this is, Preston Blair had the idea of having it way before this happened, but he never got credit for it.
Raise 20s.
Years ago.
And Nicole is going to raise here again. She's got pocket 9s this time. And she makes it 20 to go.
And which was his name?
Seat 5 is going to cold call with ace-4 offsuit. And look at seat 8. He's going to re-raise.
To put two pieces,
90.
put something together.
He's going to re-raise with a 10-6 offsuit, Shirley. So we've seen a couple
He has
players
a
make
10.
some
Oh, yeah,
crazy
10-6.
moves.
During a poker game.
See what Nicole does here. Now, Nicole has a lot of chips in front of her.
Evelyn, I think
I was in the game.
10-6. Seat 8.
All right, one time.
Well, you call one time, I call one time.
And now Troy's going to come in for...
What is going
Troy's going
on?
to call with King-Jack offsuit from a raise and a re-raise with King-Jack offsuit. And, of course, Nicole's probably going to call here.
She's going to call.
Yeah, so now the pot is about,
Well, it's $90
200
three-way.
yeah.
That's $270
plus the extra money, it's about $290 in there. So Andy's making a stone-cold bluff here. Troy is called with a King-Jack offsuit from early position to a raise from a tight player and a re-raise.
Should just stack them up.
So he invented it, really, playing poker? So what do you call his name was Sandwich?
Is that
He
it?
put 2 pieces of bread together?
So we're looking at about a $290 pot here to the flop. What action here in the early going of this game.
We got aces, kings, and queens here?
While he was still playing cards.
Hiya!
Look at this. King-Jack picks up top pair, but Nicole's got a set of 9s. Let's see how she plays it. 9-8 king, 2 spades. Boy, if Troy called this pre-flop action, you'd probably think he's probably going to call all the way with this hand.
I would think so. And she was saying before the flop came out, does someone have kings here, aces and kings here? So
he bets,
she might not stick out tons of money out of there.
Looks like he bet 100, and she's going to make it 200.
Okay.
So it's a $100 bet. She raises to 200. Andy's got to be done with this now. And this is the problem with King Jack. Now the question is, how much can she extract from him? The pot is now about $500, Shirley. The turn is a 5 of
it's
hearts.
It's like 700. It was almost 300 pre-flop.
Yep. You're right, 700,
yeah,
400 plus 300.
400 plus, yeah.
And he's going to check, and she bets, and he immediately mucks. And she takes down about a $700 pot.
And
look at this, the
hand,
rabbit cam shows a king of spades. Wow. And you got to think all his money probably would have gone in.
Would have got in, yeah.
So, yeah, you're right. It was about 280 or 290 pre-flop, and then 400.
And then 400
yeah.
more.
I had to get some value. I didn't get...
Well,
I've been playing for
I personally, I don't know your style with no limit. I personally don't even play King Jack offsuit from early position, much or less to calling a raise and a re-raise.
Not the way that hand went down. I wouldn't be playing it.
Raise. 85.
Who's that? Oh, I know. It scares me. That's why I didn't look.
Thank you.
Pocket queens here for seat 5.
Why is it every time it's me, everybody gets down?
And he raises, and he's going to take it down.
I'll sell you my seat for 300. Sorry, so.
Thank you.
What's that on your collar? Is that like a... What is that logo on your collar?
That's the alarm for the prison, so that she leaves a certain vicinity.
Of course, you can follow a live thread in the internet world by going to 2plus2.com, click on the forums key, click on televised poker, World Poker Tour, and other televised tournaments. And the Live at the Bike thread is right there. And we have a question, as we always welcome questions, comments, suggestions, from our buddy in Syracuse who actually starts the thread every night. Kev Matthew says, what happened to displaying the game that was being played? Says, I like how you've got the seat numbers and names in there again, but why not include what's being played? And to answer that, we've made a decision that we didn't really like the way that it looked at the top of the screen, so we're going to continue to announce what the game is every so often. Now, we've got a raise and a re-raise. Seat 9 is the re-raiser, and he's got pocket aces. Looked like Andy came in for a raise, and Andy's going to call the re-raise.
50 more.
$15 raise. Mike made it 50 more to go, and Andy has called with 5-6 offsuit. What action here?
And I'm checking to you.
And 5-6 is going to check blind. Look at this. He's flopped 2 pairs. Bottom 2 pairs, and Mike's going to lead with his overpair with the aces. Unbelievable. And he's going to check raise him. All in. And, you know, the thing about the restricted buy-in game here, Shirley, is that it's almost proper unless, you know, Mike thought that he flopped a set to call if he only has maybe $100 left.
You hit your set on beach, but I call.
And he is going to make the call. And bottom 2 pairs is very, very vulnerable in this position here. Mike can catch an ace, a king, or pair the turn card. The turn's an ace, and there it is. Wow.
That's it. It's over.
And the river's a 7 of hearts, and as Mike says, justice.
Sucked out on you, sorry.
Andy had called the re-raise with 5-6 offsuit. Wow.
I wonder what Preston has to say about that.
Let's call Preston Blair right
Good
now.
hand. Nice hand.
I was hoping
See what he has to say about that.
Nice hand.
And I think Mike had, you know, somewhere around about 250 more there, so he picks up about
So what are you going to do?
about 250. No, even more than that out of his stack. Somewhere around a $500 to $600
Looks
pot.
like the dealer was pushing dollar chips, and the dollar chips don't play in this game.
I knew you had aces or kings.
I mean, I know there's dollar chips because of the collection, but I think she actually paid off the dollar chips.
Maybe the dollar chips might have been there in the main pot just from the leftover
Yeah, but I
from
mean,
the
I
drop.
thought that she had counted it off from the seed 8 stack, but I could be wrong.
I think the way that it works here, at least at the bike, is if you have dollar chips that add up to the amount of the big
The
blinds,
$5? Right.
that don't play.
And they do play.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so maybe.
And in the 1 and the 200, they all dollars play, and in
Right.
the 3 to 5 and the 500 and over, they don't.
Right. It's just multiples of whatever that big blind is, and the big blind in the 200 game is 3, or excuse me, it's 5, and in the 100 game it's 3. So the ones play in the 100 game. I'm not sure about the
They-
200.
they do play
They
in
do.
the 200.
Okay.
Oh, I wasn't calling anyway. Half for 5.
So we've seen some crazy action. We've got some live players here at the table. We're going to see 4-way action limped around. Ace, Queen, Deuce, 3 spades. Andy is the only one with a spade here in seat 8.
Check.
It's about a $20 pot.
Nobody wants any.
The turn is a deuce.
I check my flush.
And there might have been a mini raise in there pre-flop because it looks like there's a little bit more than 20 in the pot. And now Brian there is going to make a stone cold bluff, and he's going to take it down there. And Shirley, I like to preach that, especially when no one's shown a lot of strength pre-flop, when you've got a board that is a 3 flush with an ace, or even sometimes with a king.
And a board pair there, too.
You could fire at it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times people aren't going to call you unless they have a high spade or an ace.
Right.
You know?
I know. That's why I love her.
Raise 50.
Well, let's see what Andy's going to bring this raise in for now. He has got 6-3 offsuit, Shirley, and seat 6 has
has
got
aces.
Preston.
So
Now, I'm amazed. I mean, Andy pulled that one move earlier, which was a great move because nobody wanted the pot. And then all of a sudden, that's all he's doing is making moves.
and seat 2 is going to call with a 5-3 offsuit. Now let's see how Brian in seat 6 plays it, if he's going to re-raise out of the blind. And you would think he would. And actually, he's on the button, it looks like.
Please raise.
No, he is in the small
blind.
blind. Yep. And Bud's got pocket 9s. Wow.
So he re-raises
It's going to make it
60 more.
60?
60
No,
more.
75
75 total.
75
60
total,
more.
yep.
Mhm.
So it's 75 here to Bud, or 70 more because he's got $5 in the blind. You know, if he thinks his hand is good with the 9s, he either pushes. I can't imagine he would just flat call because it's a huge re-raise for 9s. And I can't imagine anyone's going to call here.
No.
Brian, welcome to the game.
And again, we have the luxury of seeing the cards, Shirley. It's also you've got to pay attention to what hands have been shown down. Now, Andy showed down the fact that he raised and called, say, a $50 re-raise with 5-6 offsuit a couple of hands ago.
Right.
Everyone on the table saw that. So, a lot of times people can make these types of moves, and then, you know, if you never show the cards down, you quickly escape with, you know, still having that tight image that you're trying to have for the entire table.
Maybe I need to go try that and see what happens.
Yep.
Well, here there's unlimited rebuys, so there there's no rebuys. It's true. You only get stuck on 125 like that.
Troy's got a Jack-8 offsuit, and he limps, and seat 3 is going to raise here with a suited connector. He's got 8-9 of spades. That's Reagan. We haven't seen much of him all night. Nicole mucks in seat 4. Action's over to Brian with my least favorite hand, ace-10 offsuit, but he's going to make the call. It's a $30 raise.
Certainly, there's worse hands than that, Bart.
Just my least favorite hand.
Mine's 10-5.
And Andy's going to come in as well with 6-7 offsuit. And so is Troy. So we've got a really, really loose table tonight. It's a $120 pot. 4-way action to the flop.
4 planes.
6-7 jack. 8-9's picked up an open-ended straight draw. Troy's got top pair, though, with that kicker trouble in seat 2. And 6-7 is flop bottom 2 pairs, Andy in seat 8, and he's checked it from up front. So you imagine that he's going to put a check raise in. Reagan's made that continuation bet. Looks like he bet either 40 or 50, and Andy, he's going to check raise them all in. And Reagan's going to call with the draw. He's going to call with the open-ended draw.
Yeah, it's because it wasn't very much more.
Right.
Like $55 more.
Yep, so maybe he had odds to call here. The turn is a queen, and the river is a queen. And funny enough, 6-7 was counterfeited there.
Right.
But his hand is still good against 8-9.
The other person with that jack weight kicker, jack 8,
Right.
would have won the hand if he had stayed.
And you're right, because Reagan had bet either, I think it was 50,
I think he bet 50
on the flop. Andy probably made it either only 80 to 100 more.
I think it
check
was
raise.
70, what she just said.
70 more.
Yeah.
So at that point, you're really only looking for either 3 to 1 or 4 to 1 odds even to hit your straight, and he probably was getting it with all that money in the pot. So that's why he made the call. Got another chip count handed to us here brought to you by Joker Gaming, and I just want to hit up some of the interesting notes, Shirley. Nicole in C4 has got about 1,900, so she is by far the chip leader.
Wow, yeah.
Yep.
So that's just $720 she's won in the last hour.
Yep.
She started at $1,200.
Yep.
You're talking about an unlimited buy,
Yeah.
5 minutes.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, that's a whole different game.
And so it's a whole different game. You know, people can call your aces with deuce 3 because they have $5,000 and I only have 5. You know, so it's.
And also,
Would
they
you
don't
loan me a
care.
couple hundred?
Huh?
In that game, people call 500. but
Seat 6 is going to bring this one in for a raise. It's going to make it 35 to go with Jack 5 offsuit. Wow.
500 to them is like.
This is by far by far the loosest 3 to 5 game we've ever done on this show. We've only done the show maybe
I think that I've ever played in, too.
4 to 5 times. And seat 2 calls a $35 raise with 4-5 offsuit.
The same as if he played 60,000 to him. It's the same. You know what I mean?
Troy's gonna check, and Brian's gonna bet here.
45.
He's gonna bet $45. It's a good flop to get if you're the pre-flop raiser here, Shirley, with that ace coming on board.
Hey, you know
that.
that was Preston Blair's favorite hand right there. Ace 10 3.
Are you watching?
Actually, and I wanted to read off another comment here on 2+2. Again, you can go to 2plus2.com, click on forums, click on televised tournaments, World Poker Tour, and other televised events, and we're right there. Reading this comment because looks like a unique user. This is from Rich P. from Southern California. He says, "Are these guys just this loose, or are they really reading others well enough to make some of these pretty amazing calls?" Well, what's your take on that, Shirley? Yeah.
That loose.
See you. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. You want to play?
Raise 40.
Bud is going to make it 40 to go here from the cutoff. He's got ace-king in seat 7, ace-king offsuit.
3 people.
Troy's got a jack-3 of diamonds, and you figure he's going to make the call.
Looks like it.
And he is from early position. He's reaching for chips. And he is going to make the call. Brian has limped in with queen 6. He's out. So we got a jack-3 against ace-king. Now, jack-3 isn't a gigantic underdog. He's got live cards. Let's see what the flop brings. So it's a queen deuce 6. Let's see if Bud can use his position here to make a bet. Oh, no, he's going to check behind the jack-3. We haven't seen if Troy's capable of making a bluff here on the turn. He checks again. And Bud checks again. And the river's a 7.
Playing the board.
And Troy says he's playing the board.
But he's not really.
Not quite. His 3 plays.
Jack high, yeah.
And his jack, his jack. 7s
Queen
with a
7,
queen
7.
jack. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, again, I wonder if, if you're thinking that good that you're going to play Jack 3 of diamonds in early position, you've got to be able to think maybe you can outplay the guy, or I'm making a call for this reason. If I see the fact that Bud has just checked it all the way down with ace king, well, maybe if I'm a crafty player, I could play a hand like that and make a move.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't like Bud checking that neither. You should be betting ace high. I mean, what if the 3 would have come?
No, absolutely. Now Bud's picked up another pretty good hand. He's got king queen suited, but he's only going to limp from late position.
10. That's a light straddle.
Oh, there's a straddle here. And Andy's going to raise with 8-5 offsuit. He's made it 35 to go. The straddle has got a king 4 offsuit.
Now I'm curious to see what seat 2 has. He just calls me.
Yep, he's
no
called.
Matter what.
He's got to show us his cards again. He's got a little difficulty with that. Nicole's going to...
She points it out.
Yeah.
Good girl.
3-5 offsuit. So we got 4-way action. It's a $140 pot. Deuce 6 10. It looks like king queen high is good here, Shirley. A couple people have draws. Or Troy's got a draw. And Andy's going to continue to bet.
Andy's going to pick this pot up, I'm sure.
A lot of times the flop doesn't hit anyone else.
That's Milo in seat 9. Or you have, Mike?
Yeah.
Mike, yeah. I didn't even realize that was him.
And he is going to take it down there, Andy.
Yeah, once in a while, buying a pot will work.
Sneaky Preston Blair.
Preston Blair, that's for Preston Blair.
And he takes down, again, about $140 there.
It's not be in this game. It's going to be another game.
It's not going to work if it's another game.
Again, we are here live at the bike. My name is Bart Hansen. I'm joined tonight for the first 2 hours by Shirley Rosario. We are doing a $300 to $500 restricted buy-in, no limit hold'em game. The blinds in this game are 5 and 5.
You want to bet?
The yellow chips are $5 chips, and the purple chips are $25 chips.
Just like you had me on the turn. You had me drawn it. Yeah.
This is the first and only poker show, Shirley, that shows full cards for cash games.
For a live cash game.
Yeah.
No, I didn't have it. I didn't have
Pocket queens here for seat 2. Well, I was going to say something about those tournament players, but then I realized that you play a lot of tournaments. So.
Uh-huh.
25 more.
So Troy's going to raise out of the blind here with queens.
25.
He's going to make it 25 to go, and Andy makes the call with 8-4 suited. By far, now I'm going to say by far the loosest 3-5 game I've ever
yeah,
seen.
I've already known that.
Deuce, deuce, 10. There's 3-way action in here. Ross is in there in seat 5 with 3-4. Pretty good flop for queens. Deuce, deuce, 10, 2 diamonds.
Yeah, but the way this table's playing, you can't put it past somebody to have a deuce.
75. All in.
Put it all in there.
And look at this. Troy checked and Andy bet, and Troy's going to check raise them all in with the overpair. So he extracted, it looks like $75 from Andy.
Yeah. Nice play.
Oh, man, I wish I had the hand.
So speaking of tournaments, I don't know if I told you this, Bart, but I knew that after I left the World Series of Poker and didn't place in any events, I was going to come home and win one. Did you know that I won the Omaha tournament online the other night?
Well, I was going to say some people.
$7,000.
Well, you didn't even give me a chance to answer your question.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Answer the question.
Some people do read your website. Yeah.
Oh, so you knew that?
I read your website. Yeah.
Of course, I can't hit some for 300,000. I hit 7,000.
Omaha. You and I are really fond of Omaha, and unfortunately, I do work on Sunday night, so I don't get to play in that.
Right.
But hopefully, over the next couple month or so, I'm going to change my days off, and if I'm home on Sunday nights, I'll definitely play that
Can I
tournament.
have a rack? I'm going to go play that tournament. Empty rack.
Ace King suited here for seat 6. He's brought it in, and he raised to about 20. And he's got called in 4 spots. $80 pot. 10, 4, 10. And Andy in seat 8's got queen 10. And just by the way Andy's playing, I have a feeling that he's going to slow play this, Shirley. A lot of players put money in with the worst hand and don't put a lot of money in with the best hand. And he's going to smooth call.
I'll see you at the tournament.
Take care.
So it's about a $170 pot now.
How many people have this?
The turn is a 6. Ace King's going to check. And look at this. Queen 10 checks right behind him.
Nice move.
And the river is a 7.
First place? 6.
$170 pot. Brian's going to check, and now Andy's going to bet.
6,000's a good night's work.
It's a fishy bet there, Shirley.
I was going to say, that's almost too enticing.
$55 bet, but he's going to get the call there. And he shows the Queen 10.
Should do it.
Now, that's the type of flop where there weren't a lot of draws. Andy flat called there with the Queen 10. Got everyone was out there anyways. So that hand actually went down pretty well for him. But
I'm really surprised he got that $55.
again,
I mean, what was he at 6 thinking that he called him with on the flop? Even if he called with 4, he was beat.
You know, it's just if people listen to our commentary, it's just, one of the things in these restricted buy and no limit games that, you usually want to bet because a lot of people are going to call you with inferior hands. It just seems to me that Andy is going to be one of these types of players that's going to try to slow play his big hands, which usually is not proper at these levels.
I liked his move on his check on the turn.
$15 raise here to open the pot. It looked like Andy opened it with a Jack 3 offsuit in seat 8. Jack 6 offsuit. And we're going to see 4-way action here to the flop. About a $60 pot. King, Queen 10. Troy there in seat 2 is playing King 6 offsuit from the cutoff. He's got top pair. Andy in seat 8's got an open-ended straight draw, and he's going to bet $30. Again, this is one of the problems, Shirley, with playing King Rag, Ace Rag. You don't really know where you're at, right, when this type of flop comes up. And look at this, he mucks. No, he does make the call.
Okay.
So it's about a $120 pot now. Andy checks blind. Turn is a deuce. And the river is a king.
65.
And Andy's going to try to take a shot at it here. Little does he know that Troy actually has a king.
Yeah.
So Troy's going to make the call as it went check on the turn.
Tough to beat 3 kings.
And Troy is going to take it down there in seat 2.
Preston could do it.
Preston Blair could do it.
You throwing things in here, Bart?
Here's your pen.
Well, you
I
guys
don't know how it got over there.
$3 ahead after all that fun. It's like going to Vegas and playing blackjack for an hour and breaking even.
Okay, so Bud left and went to the tournament.
Yep.
A new player in seat 7. We'll get his name in a minute. That's Tony.
I play the tournament. I like tournaments. Take 363rd place in the big one. What are you gonna do?
You're stuck $2 if you lose this spot.
Yeah. Way too much.
Here he comes, rolling around the other side. How much did he make it?
50.
50 straight.
50 from seat 1. He's got pocket 8s. Pocket 8s.
What do you have there, partner?
And the tournament going on here, Shirley, at the bike is the No Limit Frenzy, I believe. It's a set of $100 No Limit tournaments.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of a little tournament series between now and Legends. And Legends, of course, starts in a couple of weeks.
Thank you.
Did you notice here that Garland posted on 2+2?
I did notice that. Garland, of course, was a player that came down from San Francisco last week to play on 2+2. And we were, I don't think that we were necessarily all that hard on him.
I said that he needed to give action, but that was a totally different game. It was a tighter game.
Yeah.
So, yes, in this, I don't know.
We were going to say in this game, in a looser game, you actually could play. You could play tighter, and sometimes people will say, "Well, how does that? I don't understand that. Doesn't that go against the
right?
Fundamental
Well, that's pretty much, I mean, if you're playing in a loose game, you want to tighten up. If you're playing
Yeah.
in a tight game, you want to loosen up.
It's race 10.
But I think he's right. You really don't have to worry about getting action here at the bike. Obviously, we can see that
But normally
there's
this,
plenty of that.
Normally this 3 to 5 game does not play this loose.
That's true.
15.
What's the over-under on my shake?
I'm leaving
That
too.
it might take a while.
You're leaving too?
Yeah.
We can send her to the tournament room.
How much is it?
50 total.
Ah,
$50 raise
look who's
here.
coming in. Stranger in seat 9.
Oh, I was going to say, you know who's back in town? It's Dave Tuckman. It's the Friar Dave Tuckman.
And he's going to sit down.
6, 8, 10 on the flop. This is going to be a lot of fun. Queen Jack, who's the original raiser's got the couple overcards in the upper end of a gut shot. And he's going to move all in. Strong semi-bluff here. And Ross had called a $50 pre-flop raise with ace-5 of clubs. And Dave's got to be... Now and look at this. Andy's got 3-10. He's got 10-3 off suit, Shirley.
I know.
He's got top pair, and you got to imagine he's going to make this call. And he is going to call. He insta-calls $150.
Is it he's like getting up to go to the tournament? Is that why?
Queen Jack has a lot of outs here. The turn is an
Now,
ace. He
even
picks
more.
up more of a flush draw and a double gutter. And there's a river 6 of spades, and he makes a flush. He had an oodle of outs on the turn there, Shirley. He was double gutted.
And the spade draw
He
or
had
the jack and the
overcards
king. Uh-huh.
and a spade draw.
Any spade, any
You know,
jack,
with
any queen, any king.
with one card to come,
A lot of outs.
he's got 9 outs for the spades. He's got 3 more and 3 for the queen and the jack, so that's 15. Then he's got another 3 on both sides for a straight. He's got about 21 outs there with 1 card to come. That's about as much as you can possibly have.
Mm-hmm.
Any pictures will he win?
You'd like to come? If she's not busy.
So Reagan takes it down there. Now the funny thing about Dave is that Dave actually prefers a weak tight game. I wonder how he's going to adjust to this loose action game. Now Nicole's
He
going to
took his hat off and gave us a smile.
Nicole's going to bring it in here for a raise to 20 with pocket threes. Seat number 5 is going to call with an ace-3 of diamonds.
3 to 5, right?
And seat 7 is in there. We can't see his cards.
I'm going to take that seat, actually.
5-10 jack. Nicole's going to continue to bet here. She's going to bet 35 with pocket threes and under pair. How can Ross make this call with ace-3 here?
I don't know. Runner,
We
runner, diamond?
don't know what seat 7 has. The turn is a 9 of clubs. Now Nicole, I imagine, is probably going to have to shut down. Seat 7's got an ace-queen. So
With
he's-
the ace of
With the
clubs.
ace of clubs. So now he's open-ended with the nut flush draw. And he's going to bet it right out here. I think that's Tony in seat 7. It is.
Oh, yeah.
So Tony's coming into seat 7. Get a giant draw, and he takes it down. Rabbit Cam shows the river as a queen of hearts. Tony would have had the best hand anyways.
Thank you. I only do one show a night, folks.
So Tuckman's back from Vegas, and we're going to be seeing more of him in the commentating booth in the upcoming days. So if everyone that was missing David Tuckman and had checked out the Under the Gun section of the Bike's website, got some semi-daily updates of his progress at the World Series of Poker.
A lot of those people went to play. We have the $100 No Limit Hold'em tournaments going on right
the
now.
frenzy
so.
starts at 7:15.
We had Brian. He moved over into seat 2
Is that funny?
from 6. That's not Troy any
No,
longer.
it can be funny. I just wasn't sure if it was.
Ace 4-7. Nicole's been playing. She played a suited ace 6. 3 people have an ace here. Tony's got a suited ace with a better kicker. And Nicole bets here. She's going to bet 20, and Tony's going to make the call. Tuckman's in there with an open-ended straight draw. He makes the call out of seat 1.
He's in seat 9.
So seat 9, excuse me. And Troy, or seat 2, has got ace 8. That's
Yeah.
not Troy. That is Brian. From seat 6. And he makes the call. So 4-way action. The turn is a jack. And look at this. Tuckman's going to lead right out.
We need a service, please.
He's going to lead right out. See if anyone has that ace. That jack didn't
Well,
help
they
him.
all do. That's the funny thing. Let's see if any of them are going to call him.
Brian in seat 2, mucks. And Nicole's going to call. It looked like it was about a $60 bet. And Tony mucks. But Nicole is still in there. Pot's about $300 to $400. See what the river is. The river's a 9. That's no help for Tuckman. He's going to have to bet out here or give up.
Well, it did bring a flush, so...
So is he going to give up here?
Well, I'm thinking he can represent the flush.
Look at this.
or-
He's going to bet $150 into about a $300 pot. And if you're looking in your Nicole, it's tough to call here with ace-6.
Mm-hmm.
And Nicole knows Tuckman. Although Nicole, just kind of started playing here recently.
He's one of the better players that I've ever played with, really, in the live games. It's very hard to put him on hands, and he makes moves better than most
and I'm
players.
sure if she makes this call, he's going to give her a lot of crap for making this call if she makes the call.
Sarah. Hello.
And she lays it down, and Tuckman's made a bluff. And let's see if he acknowledges the camera.
How are you? Good to see you.
Well, he's not talking to the camera, but we can pretend it. So he's made a move there, and he takes it down.
Thank you.
Now, David told me that he was playing a lot of games, a lot of big no-limit games in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't do all that well in the tournament, except for that first tournament, but he made a good amount of money in the side games.
Right.
Playing a lot of 80, 160 at the Bellagio, playing a lot of 10, 20, 20, 40 no limit.
I got another seat now. 3 seats.
Yeah, you can shop here.
Do whatever you want.
We have a special programming note for everyone tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to be doing a $200 no-limit restricted buy-in game, and we're going to be reintroducing our pink chips that we had great success with on Saturday. And Shirley,
I was wondering what this was about.
the pink chips are basically every pot that someone wins, they get a pink marker chip.
Uh-huh.
And at the end of the night, the person with the most marker chips wins a bounty. In this case, it was $200 and a jacket, but you wouldn't have been able to believe what kind of action that brought. We saw one guy in
how
seat
fun.
9 blow $900 in the last half an hour
Just
trying to get the
collect
marker
the
chips.
pink chips. 900 to win 200.
The special twist is that Brandy Roderick, Playboy Playmate Brandy Roderick, is going to be playing here with her husband tomorrow.
You know,
so
the-
check it out. Go to her website. Check it out. Tuckman's raised here. He's got pocket queens in seat 9. It makes it 30 to go.
I think 3-5.
And seat 5 is going to come in with king 3 offsuit. So we got about a $70 pot.
3-5.
That's under 200.
Deuce 9-7.
I'll check to you, sir.
Sir. Jeez, somebody says, sir, I want to turn around and look for my dad.
So Brandy
$75.
Roderick.
Told you, sir, so you don't bet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
This whole time while I was looking at her name, I was thinking it was the soccer player.
And this is what they
No.
But no, Playboy model.
Playboy model.
Well, that'll bring a lot more business than a soccer player.
I don't know if her
imagine.
website is www.brandyroderick.com, but if people are watching this webcast, they're internet savvy enough
was-
to find the one in 300,000 web pages that she must be on.
What was
out
the
there.
soccer player's name? Chastain. That's it. Thank you.
There we go.
I had an ace. No. Small. Ace small.
Isaac, man, he just knows all about these odd sports. He's telling me about the Tour de France earlier before the broadcast.
Is that over?
It's a couple more days left.
I didn't have an ace.
And people are asking Tuckman about what he had that hand. He says he didn't have an ace. He made a stone cold bluff
I think I had
and
the
got
best.
3 aces to lay it down.
Yes.
And he knew exactly enough to bet here. Because if he bets $50 on the river, he's going to get a call.
Last
Yes,
time
he
I got
is.
the best. This time I don't know.
Deuce 3-3.
I had 2.
I'm surprised nobody has a piece of that flop,
I think Brian was
considering some of the hands they've been playing.
No. You gave me too much credit.
He had, I think he had
Brian's going to make a position bet, and he's going to take it down.
Ace 4 jack. Or no, ace 4 7 and then turn jack, right?
And here comes Ulette. Well, that's going to add a little tightness to the table. Ulette always likes to wipe off the camera windows for us. I don't not quite understand why, but that's become kind of her trademark.
You think he's lying still?
possibility. It's a possibility.
Seat 1 there, Rob. I think he's kind of a Bobby Bland look-like with that sideways hat and the goatee.
Hearts?
Or excuse me, as ESPN put it, Robert.
They don't give me credit for any hands. Ever.
Robert Jean Ballon.
Robert Jean Ballon.
I think that's the right way to.
Yeah. Well, he'll always be Bobby Bland to me as he races
Well, you might have
with Ace Queen off suit.
I had you beat up.
Boy, he was really cocky last night.
5-6 or hearts.
In a way, he does look like him.
Yeah.
The absolute
Yeah.
the river, the heart flush.
And the funny thing is, if I'd said that before last night's show, no one would have known what I was talking about. And that just goes to
Last
show you.
night's show. Oh, I didn't watch that.
Oh, it was. He was on the
on the circuit.
on the
I
circuit.
have a T-vote. I haven't
Yeah,
watched it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know who he is.
Right,
He's a
right.
regular in here. So
Right.
on 2+2, the big bad Rook asked what tournament it was. It was the $200 Omaha tournament on Sunday night on PokerStars. They hold
Limit
it
high
every-
low, right?
Yeah, Omaha high low split, and they hold it every Sunday at 7 p.m.
Pocket 4s.
And my screen
Pocket
name, by the way,
aces
is
for seat
Siren.
4.
One time, I want one person to call.
Nicole, and she's going to raise,
Aces?
and she doesn't get any action.
Hey! For 20, I'll call. See if I hit a 9.
This table has tightened up a bit here in the last few minutes.
Yeah, well, seat 2. Well, the 2 is a new player, but the old seat 2 and seat 8 were the live ones, and they left.
Right.
9-4-9-5.
No one wants to play with us apparently.
Is it on my hand?
I looked at it.
We should get Jennifer out there.
I picked it up. See what you had. I was curious.
Lot's been raised to 20.
One time.
I wanted to know what you had.
Well, Ulette is actually raised here with ace-jack off suit to 20 from early position.
I just wanted to see. I wanted to see if I could
And you
make
thought she
something
was
before I
tight.
end.
And Nicole's going to make a call here with pocket 7s.
Ladies.
So we're heads up, ace-jack against 7s. Not a bad flop for 7s. Let's see how Nicole's going to play this one. And look at this, Ulette checks. And why? Why would Nicole check behind her? I don't know. And they're both going to check the turn as a king comes. And the river's a king. And kings and 7s is going to take it down.
Take it up. Small.
Take money from the same people that take money from every day. Thanks for holding.
I don't have to show if I don't want to play. Right? Do I have to show if I don't want to play? No.
No, you don't have to show if you don't want to.
I don't want to let them know what.
It's a monster.
10 more. Or 15 more. You want to call? Chris! You should get Chris to play that Chris. He had aces. He wants me to call. Hey, my
Deuce 8-7.
from last hand.
Heads up. Ulette bets out on her on the jack 8. And Ross makes the call with king 10. Wow. Turn is a deuce. And Ulette continues to bet with top pair.
You just sit like this?
And she takes it down.
Why don't we get 2 more players?
Come on, man. No limit 4. Pete.
As far as pros being in the commentator booth, do you think that's what he's asking, or actually
Well,
playing?
Shady Poker was talking about, he's posted up on 2+2. He said, just out of curiosity, when do you think will be the next time we see some poker pros in the broadcast? And I'm sure that he's talking about playing at the table from some of our demo videos. And all I got to say is, stay tuned. Legends is coming
I think
around now,
Legends.
2 weeks.
And we'll see a
week
lot
or
of
two.
guest commentators coming
Yep.
in.
Oh,
Yep.
I was like,
Oh, that's nice of you.
Yeah, it would look boring, actually.
And, we used to do a big game on Thursday nights, but it was just a situation where this table is not conducive to showing a multi-card game, above 2 whole cards.
And they play the mixed game, so
Yeah.
the Omaha High-Low and the Badoogie
Draw.
and the triple draw,
Yeah.
it just really wasn't working.
But we've got some ideas of how to alleviate that, though.
no, it's just him. He's playing with himself. I was. Somebody else was saying that actually.
Tell him to address one more comment. I think maybe I
And
From Rich
stated it
P on
wrong.
2+2?
Yeah, I think maybe I worded what I was saying wrong. I don't mean like play loose stupid like we've seen tonight. You know,
Well,
like
he was-
playing like Jack 3 and stuff like that.
Of course, he says on the post,
Yeah.
I disagree that you should play tight in a loose game
Oh, right.
and loose in a tight game.
Right.
One should play slightly tighter than opponents. I agree that you should bluff more in a tight game, but that's different than playing loose against tight players. That can be disastrous, and playing tight in a loose game leads to a lot of lost opportunities. Well, that's a couple of good points.
I mean, I still stand by the fact that if you are sitting at a really tight table and you think that someone has really big hands, that you should play a little looser in the fact that you should play the suited connectors and hands that can just knock them out cold. So you should play the 7-8 and stuff like that if you can get in for $30 if they have $400 behind. So I still stand by that, but I think that I probably worded it wrong.
Because if you strictly say that you're not going to change your playing style up, playing, say, tighter in a loose game and looser in a tight game is not correct if you just say that.
Say
I
it like
understand,
that,
yeah,
right.
I understand where
Right.
he's coming from.
Yeah, I made too general of a statement there.
King 5-9, Rainbow.
Well, it wouldn't have made a difference. You make a DLE.
Well, C2's playing a 9-4 offsuit from the cutoff.
50?
And Ross there, he's going to bet out on top pair. And he's going to take it down.
8? That's nothing.
Again, we are here live at the bike. We are streaming a 300 to 500 no limit hold'em. Restricted buy-in game. The blinds in this game are 5 and 5. The yellow chips are $5 chips. The blue chips are $1 chips, and the purple chips are $25 chips. We are amidst construction, as you can see in the background. This wall knocked down the plaza wall. We're inserting 10 new tables, or 8 to 10 new tables for Legends. And that's what you can see there in the background on the tarp. And this table is actually the only table that's left up on the old plaza right now.
I know, yeah.
And that's why we were a little bit late coming on tonight, because of the rewiring and work that had to go into moving us out of our old commentary booth to our new
Into here,
commentary
yes.
booth. We're heads up here, it looks like.
And we're not in a closet.
Seat 4 against seat 8. Well, Nicole's playing 7-4 suited. She's got a gut shot straight draw. King 5-8.
35, sir. Perfect.
And seat 8 is check called here with top pair. The turn is a 9. That's going to give Nicole an additional out, so she picks up open-ended straight draw now.
Who is seat 8? Can we get a picture of him?
Or she picks up, she's still got a double gutter, or she's got a gut shot, and she doesn't make
same
it.
guy.
And Andy's come back
He
into
came
seat 8.
back, yeah.
Right.
A lot of fun.
And the river's a 3, so that's not going to give Nicole a straight, and she gives up here on the river.
Just a king.
You proud of that kicker? Did they?
It wins.
She was still just a gut shot there on the turn with that 9 that came, but she did make the call. Or she actually threw in a bet, it looked like, on the turn.
Didn't Andy go play the tournament?
You know, maybe he busted out. It's been 15 minutes. It's not a rebuy tournament.
Yeah.
And that we are getting confirmation on that, so we're going to add a little bit of flavor to this table.
Yes.
Oh, and we got Alan, who usually plays in the big game, coming into seat 6. So, Alan, seat 6, Andy in seat 8.
Good to see you, my friend.
That's the only way to say it.
Alan?
Pocket jacks for Friar Tuckman in seat 9.
Excellent.
And it looks like he's in the big blind, so you would imagine that he's probably going to re-raise here. Seat 5 is going to raise to 20 with King 10 offsuit, Ross.
What does David have?
Pocket jacks. Yeah, he's in the big blind.
And raise to 20. 20's cool.
You would think a 33-year-old guy would learn to turn his hat the right way, but still he wants to look like the punk that he is. No, he's gonna smooth call it. So we're gonna see 5-way action here. It's about $100 pot or $150 pot. 3-6 king, and Rob in seat 1 has flopped the nut flush. The Bobby Balan lookalike. He's got the nut flush in seat 1.
That's a double, shake.
And it
I'm
look,
even more impressed with David now.
Raise it.
He didn't go for that $5 thing.
and look at this. Rob, it looked like bet $5 on the flop, and seat 5 raised with king 10. Now Andy calls with an open-ended straight draw. Everyone is drawing almost totally dead here. Ross could catch running cards to make a full house.
And
No
Andy,
hope for
same
Andy.
thing.
3 players.
4-4.
Oh, yeah, 4. Yep. Well, that's going to do it now. Queen comes. Now, Rob cold called the raise on the flop, and now he's going to lead here on the turn.
50.
He's going to bet $50, and Ross quickly makes the call, just with top pair. Now, a real action killer for Rob would be another heart coming. Well, the river's a 6, and wow, I bet you Andy thinks he's kicking himself for mucking his 6. And Rob bets 200. The pot's about almost $400 to $500. And Ross only has King 10 here. Now, pot's about $300 to $400 here. And he's bet 200, and he's going to make the laydown. And Rob shows the nut flush.
Thank you, sir.
So I was saying that I'm really impressed with David that I've seen so many players raise out of position with pocket jacks. And,
Well, I think
I love him just flat calling.
Well, once 3 people had called in between, which would happen. I like the way they played it.
Yeah.
Now, if you take it heads up,
Heads up is a different
It's
situation,
different, yeah.
but
Yeah.
there's a lot of times when I see that, and
Yeah.
and this way he just flat calls and a king or something, board like that. It's cheap for him to get away from the hand. He's not too invested.
That's how
30.
That's how bad it is. If I lose the money in the blind, only $5, it's been a horrible thing.
30 total or 25 more?
25 more.
8 o'clock, 9 o'clock here.
735. It's on the wall.
and a $25 raise here. And Nicole has made the call with King 3 suited. Wow. Ace, Queen, 6.
What's the same thing?
You said total 30 or 25 more.
Where are we at?
We're up on
And I believe the Andy was the raiser
I took a long time.
with 4-8.
long time.
Yeah.
Excuse me, with Allen with Queen 8.
He's consistent.
Well, Andy's going to bet here. Maybe it was Andy who raised out of the line with 8-4. Now Allen's got second pair, and he's going to make the call. The turn is a 4. That's going to give Andy a pair, and it goes check, check on the turn. And the river is a 9. And Andy's going to try to buy it here. He's going to bet. And Allen lays it down. Allen lays the queen down.
Something became good when the river came out of 9.
I like it.
Thank
You didn't like the diamond on the turn, but you liked it on the river?
I know when you said that.
He knows what I like.
I knew he liked it.
I shouldn't have said anything.
If I was anything, I would bet.
I know. I saw you picked up on it right away.
Yeah.
I bit my tongue up or something.
Yep. I stopped just because of what you said.
So I go card change. Goes home and come back 2 days later. Still someone
20.
20's plenty.
20.
15 to Carl.
Dave's going to make it 20 to go here from the button. Looks like an 8-9 offsuit.
How much more?
Dave likes to make these mini raises and then bet, maybe a half the pot to try to pick up a pot here.
Players.
He likes to make this move in late position with any connecting cards. 4-4-10. And he might be able to get away. Well, Andy's probably not going to get away from it.
No, he's
though.
not getting away from it.
Well, Dave actually checked. The turn is a queen. And C. Dave has checked again here.
80.
And he's made a full house. And now
David bet
Tuckman's
80.
going to bet. Well, Andy checked the trip 4s. Andy checked the full house on the turn. And got David to bite. And now he looks like a genius again, though. I still like to put money in with the best hand. Allen's got King Jack here, drawing totally dead. He's got an open-ended straight draw. And he's going to muck. And let's see what Andy does here.
You have a flush draw?
I don't have a flush draw. Don't bet. No, I don't have a flush draw.
And it looks like he's just going to smooth call here, Shirley. Now the pot is about $240.
No jack.
And the river's a 3. So let's see how this plays out. Is Andy just going to check it? And it might work, because Tuckman's probably going to bet at it to try to win the pot. Again, it's about $240 pot. Andy's got the 4s full of queens, and he's going to check and see what Dave does here. And look at this, yep. He's going to bet 200, and Andy checked to induce the bluff.
He moved all in.
And he moved all in over the top, and Dave's got to probably just release the hand. He can't even call the extra 100. He knows he's caught. Yeah, and he quickly releases. And he looks back at his menu. And, the thing about Dave is that he's not going to make that mistake twice. I mean, if he had known the information about how Andy has been playing, it worked once against Nicole, but it did not work twice. And again, Andy's looking at like he's a genius by slow playing his big hands, but we'll see how it pans out over the course of the night.
Well, when he made the full house, I liked his check. You don't agree? Or you don't like that?
No, I did not say that.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I think
like
that
leading out on the trips on the flop. 'Cause that's
I think that playing against someone like Dave, where you know what he's trying to do, I think checking the river there is actually a good move too. Playing against specifically someone like Dave. Now, Dave has flopped a set of sevens here.
A better queen.
$5. 25.
And he's going to bet 25.
So now I'm thinking I had to beat with.
And I think actually he raised. Looks like it was
he had queen queen.
No, it was a bet of 25.
Queen jack or king queen. I have ace queen.
I think you said queen queen.
You thought I had
I knew he did
20
queen
to
queen. I didn't know, but I was pretty confident.
And he doesn't give any money on his set.
I was trying to put a nice value, but it didn't work.
And Dave is trying to tell everyone that he had ace queen there.
Uh-huh.
But I got to tell you, though, I mean, if people believe that, you got to look at how much money was in that pot
And
for him to
how-
quickly lay down ace
Right.
queen like
He
that
didn't call
for,
that
for an
extra,
additional
like-
$90 in a
Uh-huh.
$500 pot. Come on, or it would have been. It was actually more than that at that time. So he's full of it, but that's okay. A lot of poker players are.
Raise. 30. Two players.
That's what we said before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Bears.
Oh, yeah, and I know those guys, too. That's what's so funny about the whole thing.
15.
We're heads up here. The flop is 6 ace 3.
Two players.
And look at this. Rob's going to make a call with king 10. Turns a 9 of hearts.
He's the heart guy. They're going to check.
And Andy's going to check it to Rob. And Rob is going to use his position to bet. But look at this. Andy calls with 8 jack. Wow. Now the river's a 5.
No call, sir.
And Andy bets
I thought I had the flush.
as a total bluff. Boy, that hand played very, very strangely there, Shirley. And Andy said he thought he had the flush at the end. Wow. Interesting.
That's why he's the coach.
Actually, Dick Buckus bought one of my paintings yesterday.
Yeah, there will be in a second. I'm going to get out the one more round. Give me 10 minutes.
20 minutes ago, my ace.
1 second, 10 minutes.
Got a poster up on 2+2. Whalecock. He says, Bart, for future pink chip games, you guys should do a let's make a deal type thing. Have them pick 3 doors
One of those fluky.
and make the winner choose.
That's why I couldn't buy some.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to.
And basically what he's saying is that, you've got a bunch of different bounties there. Maybe one is $25, one's $100, one's $500, maybe like 1 out of 10. And then that would really induce action. If you said, get $1,000 in one envelope out of 20,
Yeah. So the winner of the pink chips would go pick like
an
3.
envelope,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
This right here, this reflection.
No, not there. I saw.
You hold it like this.
I just saw 2 little black cards. I think
looks
you
like
got a 5
Nicole
deuce.
here is bet out with 4-7. She's got a
I don't know. I can't swear. I
straight
don't swear
draw
on it.
and a
I don't
pair.
swear on it.
I thought there's no.
And now she's hit trips on the river,
Swear on it. No,
and
I
she
didn't-
has the
I
best
didn't see the
hand.
reflection you
Looks
had
like she's
to
thrown out
write.
$50 here.
Did you have a 5 deuce?
And no one's going to call.
Yes.
Service, please.
Yeah, Sarah.
Blinds, please. Small blind, big blind.
Andy's going to raise here. He's going to make it 20 to go. He's got king 10 offsuit.
It's been raised to 20.
will get you.
That'll give me aces next hand.
Yeah, like last time.
C2 is in there with 8-6 suited, and we're going to see a flop here. 4-5 king. And Andy's checked the king, it looks like. And Brian is not going to take the card. And if people have been watching, Andy's been doing this a lot. I think I might have checked right behind him here.
Checking when he has a hand and betting when he doesn't.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I check.
And he's going to check blind again. And Brian should really take a card here with this gut shot from behind.
Beware the 4.
I'm sure you remember that pose.
And he is. He's going to take the card, and a 10 comes on the river, and Andy's actually made kings up. And again, this type of play, you know, Shirley, like, and he's going to bet $15, and Brian can't do anything.
That's pretty
But
sad when you
raise.
can't even call $15.
I mean, all he can do is raise. Or fold, obviously. You can't call.
Everybody looks.
They do. Don't you get your freedom already?
And look at this. He's got. This is unbelievable, Shirley. The bet has actually worked. Andy's put a weak bet in, and Brian thinks he's
You
weak.
made it reasonable. You made it very reasonable.
65 more.
And Brian has raised.
She's got the flush she's got.
That is unbelievable. And Andy calls. And Brian's just going to have to put his head between his legs and just walk away. And
Tens.
he's going to muck.
I'll
Wow.
take a shot. Look at all those chips now.
I'm sure that's what Andy wanted to do.
I didn't leave. I let my friend play.
But again, though, against, you know, the better and better players, not betting your hand and giving them free cards is usually, in the end, not the best strategy, right?
Pretty soon.
Against better players?
Yeah, against better players.
Yeah, well, I don't want to. Yeah, I always want to bet my hand.
Right.
If I think someone's better, if I'm sitting there with Barry Greenstein, you damn well better believe I'm going to bet my hand. Not only because I don't want him to hit something, but I don't want him to outplay me down the line
Right.
where a possibility could come out.
7 players.
Got a flop here. There's 7-way action. 5, 10, 7. It's a rainbow board. It's been limped around. It's about a $35 pot. And Rob here, who's been played ace 10, he's going to bet. He's going to bet about the size of the pot.
Yeah, there's someone's already taken the seat.
Oops.
Look at Dave playing King Jack offsuit under the gun. Wow. Gonna have to give him crap about that. Well, of course, hand selection though in No Limit is not.
I was going to say,
It's
this
not,
is no
yeah,
limit. It's not
right.
necessarily
It's
about
not,
the cards.
It's not as critical as
Right.
it is in Limit. So I'm just saying that
There
because
you
everyone
go.
thinks I'm an extremely
You're
tight
right.
player.
We can't see it, but they can see it. I have bottom pair. I just want to see what happens.
Can you go home tonight and see it?
That's a funny comment.
Tom Demain on 2+2 says, "Damn, I play too much internet poker. Just tried to right-click on Andy to add a fish tag to him." That's funny. All of you who play a lot of internet
players
poker
know
are
exactly what he's talking about.
Alan.
using that notes feature.
Mm-hmm.
Raise it to 140.
Look at this. Alan's got pocket aces on the button, and Rob had raised with pocket tens, and Alan's re-raised.
$10,000 more just for this hand. I call them.
And that's what Tuckman's saying. If I had more money, I would call with pocket threes. But so it looked like it was a $25 raise
Make it worthwhile for me to call.
under the gun, and Alan's re-raised it and made it about
140. I need you to have
120 straight to go.
I need me to have 10,000.
And you would
140
call?
like a penny on 10,000.
Then you would call?
Then I definitely call.
I wouldn't call.
I definitely call. No, I wouldn't bet 10,000. I just call.
Oh, I thought you would bet 10,000. I would say
No, I just call.
Looks like it might be 100 more here. And Rob looks like he knows he's beat. He just showed the cards to Brian, the dealer. But he's going to make the call, though, and if he thinks he's up against a higher overpair, he does not have odds to make this call. Alan doesn't have the money behind him
Right.
to make the call.
135.
And if it's a raggy flop, let's see if he can get away from it. Well, a couple of over cards there. Gonna
That's
make
going to
it-
be easy for him
Yeah.
to get away from now.
Now it's going to push all in here.
They have service. Comes up
And he shows pocket tens.
I sent you in.
And Alan shows the aces.
Yeah, see, I love my hand.
What's your name?
Me, sir? Yes. Brian.
Brian, how much do you like come in with?
You can come in for $10.
See what I just saw?
You saw what you saw.
Yeah, see, I love my
See what I
hand.
think I
See,
saw?
every time I get up and I walk away from the table, you get aces.
Sometimes you gotta get something.
I love my hand.
And then, while I stay here, you don't get the ace. I get up, you get the ace.
Yeah, I know.
The problem
I
is,
pocket
especially
threes.
when I play online,
Okay, queen, no, no, no.
I have to win a pot with no
Like I said, I know you have aces, tens.
What
Give
side do
me.
you like to play? What side do you like to play? Party
Yeah, I
play?
mean the
Hey, for $100 to win 10,000, it's worth it.
Ace Jack offsuit here for seat 4. That's Nicole. We haven't seen her play in a while.
You might. You might.
25.
The blinds are only 5.
And she's going to raise it. She's going to make it 25 to go.
5-5. Sorry. Are you gonna raise 500 to win $5? Oh, that would have been a big flop last time.
You know, if you have
Pretty good flop for Ace Jack.
I wouldn't move on then. I would
Jack
just call.
3-9,
And
two
the flop
hearts.
comes out like that. The flop
And
comes out
Brian
like
has
that.
led here with Jack 10.
if you have 10,000, my first bet would have
Got
been
two pair?
3,000.
No, I don't have
The
five.
blinds are still
I got
3-5.
And it looks like Brian's all in
Yeah, I
here.
was going to say.
Yep.
The blinds are 5-5. What are you gonna bet 3,000 into a 5-5?
And Nicole's got a heart there in her hand too. 8 comes on the river, and Ace Jack's going to take it
Even
down.
that game, the blind's only 5-10. What are you gonna make it 3,000? 5-10 game?
You should be last night. The day before.
And Dave and Alan are discussing the reversed implied odds.
On the threes versus the aces.
Well, it's not a problem with no. I don't want to say it's the no limit problem, but it's
On the flops, a
an
little bit.
interesting situation with no limit. The fact that
On the
if
flop,
I've
you
got
do a little bit
5,000
but it just doesn't make any sense.
and you have
The blinds are
5,000,
5-5 or 5-10.
and you have aces and I have deuces, and you only make it 400 or 500 to go, I should call you if you're the type of player that's going to lose your entire stack
If
when the
you're not
flop
gonna-
comes deuce 8 4 rainbow,
Uh-huh.
and you bet and I move all in.
Right.
So it's interesting how you defeat that principle. It's just that you've got to be able to have reads and be able to get away from your big hands against.
They call, I call.
Well, everybody calls, so I call.
Okay.
Want your cards back?
Yeah, I want my cards back.
Looks like it was a $25 raise there by Rob with Jack 10. And it's a $125 pot. 6-3-8. Andy's got top pair there in seed 8. And actually, I think the raise was from Andy on the button with ace 8.
100.
He's going to bet about the size of the pot. Pretty good flop for ace 8.
I like that color of black, but not the suit. I don't like that.
And Andy takes it down with the best hand.
So what you were talking about just a minute
You
ago.
actually have the top pair?
When I was playing today, there was a guy that flopped a set. He had pocket kings, flopped a set of kings. The board on the river ended up being king, queen, jack, 10, 3 hearts, and the guy still couldn't get away from it on the river. He called off all his chips on the river. His opponent could have
King,
won a flush.
queen, jack 10 with three flush out there with a 3 flush.
and the
yeah.
guy still called off all his chips. That's a classic case of not being able to get away from his hand.
Right.
You know, his opponent only needed an ace.
And I'm going to imagine that he probably was checking and calling along the way in the first two betting rounds.
No, he bet
Oh.
on the flop, he bet on the turn, and then on the river, the guy moved in and he called. But he moved in for a lot.
Yeah, compared to
Well, you know, it's a psychology and reverse psychology. Is he moving in for so much? Wouldn't you think someone would bet a little bit to get a call? Well, was he moving in so much to try to steal the pot away from me? Or you can make a vast overbet because you think that it's going to be difficult for a guy to get away from a hand. Now, Andy's picked up top pair here in seed 8. He's going to bet $10 with King Jack.
And nobody called.
And look at that. I think he's thinking that,
I'm going to change my play.
couldn't believe that he limped in with King Jack offsuit. Now, that's a raising hand.
He just, he just said he's going to play, change his game.
Yep.
Play every hand, man.
Spread the wealth.
the way I see your cards,
Chips in there and you
with
might
the
be a
set, I
chance.
would be scared to call you.
Spread the wealth.
You're running too good.
Well, this game is going to trade me 410.
Okay. Thank you. I'm out of here.
Have a good night.
See you later.
Take care.
Take care. Have a good night.
How you, Len?
Oh, you already locked it, Brian. Oh, yeah.
Shirley, we're going to be going to Table Talk in about 5 minutes. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with the show, that are watching it for the first time, and I see that there are many, many unique posts on 2+2 tonight. We do not
Posters,
do
right.
posters.
Yeah.
We do not do commentating from 8 to 8:30 for a half an hour out of 4 hours, just to for everyone to get a feel for the the live action in the show. Now Ross has got a pair with a flush draw. He's got $100 here with Queen 5 of Hearts.
Nice bet.
And Andy playing 4-8 offsuit mucks.
Yeah,
Turn
good
card.
shot. What's wrong with him?
Turn card was actually a 9 of Hearts there, but it just gets people a chance to feel what watching just a live poker table would be without commentating for about a half an hour. So we're going to go to that again in a couple of minutes. And again, if you want to follow the live thread that is on the internet, you can go to 2plus2.com, spelled out. Click on forums. Click on televised tournaments. Why do I always have so much trouble with this?
World Poker Tour and televised tournaments.
World Poker Tour and other televised tournaments. And we are right there. And you can click on the official Live at the Bike thread that's started by our buddy in Syracuse, New York. Click on Tournament Poker, World Poker Tour, and other televised tournaments. There's 2 different links there. Looks like this pot has been limped around. Heads up. 3-10 against 5-6.
I won't object. Be careful the next time you tap. Okay?
And Ross's bet led right into this flop. Tuckman raised it up with 5-6 offsuit.
Don't. I'm trying to tell you.
And Ross immediately bet, and Dave let it down. Let the hand go.
You mean he let 6 high go?
Well,
he didn't have
again, he
anything.
likes to make those, those mini raises in position.
Yeah. Oh, I like his play.
So this is actually going to be the last hand before Table Talk. So we will be back at 8:30 with commentary. Again, we are doing a 300 to 500 restricted buy-in, no limit hold'em game. 5-5 blinds. Surely that's going to do it for you tonight, right?
Yeah, you'll be back with Jennifer.
I'll be back with Jennifer Bankston.
That's true.
Scott?
Oh, actually, I guess I'll be back with Scott Groves.
Jennifer's weaseling her way out of this today.
$10 times 5, it looks like here. Flop is a 7, 10, 10, 5-way action.
I think someone has 8-9, right? No, a lot of 8s and 9s, but no 8-9.
And no 10 either.
Yeah.
Someone's on a spade draw, though, seat 5.
Boy, I bet you I can.
Seat 5's got a spade draw. Ross. And it looked like he bet $45, and he's make this semi-bluff, and he's going to take it down. Luckily for him, no one has a 10.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't bug.
Okay, well, it's been a pleasure.
So that's going to do it for this segment of Live at the Bike. We'll be back in a half an hour. Right now, we're going to turn the commentating mics down and the table atmosphere mics up. Please enjoy tonight's portion of Table Talk.
Brutal. Not actually good. No, in the end, no. I was doing good and then it turned back. Did you again raise to 10?
50.
50. Lady makes it 50.
Am I last?
Ladies are dangerous.
Ah, good, thanks. Take it away, him.
I had one, the other ace. I had one ace too.
Too much
Glad I
respect.
threw it away.
Too much respect, you like.
Way too much.
Way too much.
Too much, exactly. Big myself.
You got my 10 bucks. That's good enough for me. I was very slim.
Thanks.
Maybe minimum jet.
About 20.
20's plenty.
Here's me.
Sarah! It's a reasonable bet. Sarah!
3 players.
Oh, okay.
50.
Yeah.
80?
50.
What?
No, I put you on ace queen. That's what I did.
No, he had queen three.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sarah!
She probably has ace queen.
Are you gonna fall?
Am I gonna fold?
Yeah.
Do you want me to?
Not anymore.
That's a no.
135.
All in, 135.
You might seriously have one ace queen, huh?
Sarah! How many keywords have? Peter, can you get Sarah for me?
Service, please.
It has to be Sarah, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. This is serious. We're playing poker. Let's be serious.
No, I said you're so picky. It has to be Sarah, right?
You don't have to be. You don't have.
No, she gave me a menu.
Oh.
And she like never came back.
All right, lady, I'll call you.
Ace queen.
Aye.
Picked it right out.
Good lay down.
No. When you, I would never say anything, but I thought you were looking at me and said I had pocket threes.
Oh, no.
Oh, I'm sorry. I would never say anybody's hand, but when you said I had pocket threes, I said, well, you have ace queen, you know. That's it.
Hey, yeah. Good lay down by me.
Yeah.
Ace three.
Because he was going to go all in.
I had ace three under the gun.
I thought you were looking at me.
I wasn't in the hand.
I would have never said your
I like folded before I even did.
Yeah, I know.
Flush draw.
Smart.
Sure, you got it.
All this?
If the
All
river
this?
was a
Yours.
diamond, I had her all the way.
Yes.
Only $20 you call?
I didn't even call it five.
When you made it that
I was under the
20.
gun. I threw it away before it even got to you.
It's too tricky.
I didn't even,
Very tricky.
I didn't even, you know,
Very good.
didn't even limp in.
Because it's not even suited, that's why.
Suited or not suited, under the gun on the ace three. I didn't like it. Threw it away. I'm glad.
Thank you.
Wow, that's good. That's good. Tap my pet. Save $300.
Brian's not going to answer you.
Okay, let's see a flop. See what happens.
5 player.
Let's be crazy. Let's be wild.
Yeah.
Let's be nutty. Whoa.
What did you do? You spoke that to me.
15.
No, I thank you for not keeping
You guys would rather me just throw 10 in there. 10's fun too.
Really?
I raise.
Raise. $75. Two. Two. Queen no good? Two. I wish nobody else is behind me.
Push it all in.
Flush draw young?
Push it. I'm a flush. Push it all in. That's the way you get rid of them.
That's right. I wait for a better spot.
I'll show you my hand. You want to see it?
No.
I'll show you my hand.
Nice.
I'll show you my hand.
Well played. Well played. Thank you. They all saved me.
I know. That's why I bet it. Of course. You had a little baby queen.
They all saved you. I just thought there's no draws out there. I just didn't see what they would be in there for. I mean, they're 7-8, I guess.
Chances they were going to fold too. But they kept using it.
Good luck. Make it 40. Pretty sneaky.
Poker man.
Call.
Oh, I'm going to get service from you. Huh?
Sarah, you left me.
Oh. 2 players.
I thought the one that will have the sound in the menu.
2 players. That's good. Can I get
40 was good.
How much?
40. Yeah, I need service also.
She's working with me first.
Yeah, I know. Just not to forget and leave.
I got a piece of it.
I'm
Can I
hungry.
get
Slow down.
oh, 2 players? Can I get a couple?
60.
Some scrambled eggs, well done, with some fresh bacon, not too hard. Corn. And a big glass of orange juice. Bacon, sausage, eggs, and pancakes. Big glass of OJ.
125.
Boy, that
125.
king saved you, partner.
Thank you, sir.
King saved you. Nice shot. That king saved you.
Thank you.
No,
Thank you.
no club. King of club would have been sweet.
Yeah. You know that Persian kebab? If you have beef kebab, combination of beef and chicken.
Okay, you want ground beef, right?
Pardon me?
It's ground beef.
What?
It's ground beef.
No, the other one.
You don't have it.
You need one.
This is a portion.
30
you-
total.
$30.
Do you have any? Nice hand there, partner. Oh, I was hoping for a club.
Yeah.
Figured I was going to get paid off if I hit it.
You see this one? It's combination of
It's
lamb.
lamb. Yeah.
Combination.
It's
Mr. Allen?
what I'm saying. It's lamb, it's not beef.
Give me
What is it about?
25 more.
Total 40?
30 total.
Total 30.
4 players.
They don't have it today or they don't have it at all?
They never have beef. They have lamb kebab, chicken kebab, ground beef.
All right, let me have mix of lamb and chicken, one of each. And no rice.
60. Bet 60. 60. Give me.
No
Sure.
rice. Coke no ice.
Can I start it?
Pocket tens?
You want can?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Pocket tens?
And bottle of water.
Give me Mexico.
Sarah, give her mine.
Hold on.
Let us scan it. Fine.
Oh, yeah.
Let me get my card.
Oh, I know.
You can tell me. Do you have like enchiladas?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no. That's all we have. Sarah, don't start to a steak. Here. Don't start dollars.
You need that. Okay. She already did.
You do that? I haven't even looked yet, so I won't even look.
4 players.
You know what I want? I want a Mediterranean salad. Yes, yeah, Mediterranean salad. Let me tell you how I like my Mediterranean salad, okay? I want no chicken. No tomatoes. No feta cheese. And I want you to add extra olives and extra
30.
Swiss cheese. I like it with bread and a Boston cream pie for my waistline, please.
What kind?
You know, the breadsticks.
2 players.
The breadsticks.
Okay.
Gotta.
Anything else?
Check.
Just a bottle of water.
It's going to be a while. I have some other order now.
2 pairs.
Nice.
Thank you.
You know what? I'm not supposed to look at this game. I'm not going to look. The world will see it, and I don't want
20.
Still no love.
4 players.
Yeah. Probably have a piece of that. I checked.
Check. 25.
Close. Up one each.
Thank you. It's 15 cards.
It's candy?
Say again?
Candy?
No, it's
Ricola.
Ricola.
The throat lozenge. You want one?
Yeah.
He wants one.
Gotta go buy him some then. Since you're offering them out.
No, I'm just passing the word, man. I'm just passing the word. I'm just passing the word, Bill. You can have some of my burrito when it comes. I ordered some nachos.
25.
Can you move those? Can you move those little chips over there on the other side? Thank you. I know.
That look on your face.
I think you got ace 10. Oh, coach. I think you got ace 10. Ace 10. Shoot it.
2 players. 55.
You can win that hand.
I have one of those too.
I think you had ace 10.
Tony, would you like a Ricola?
Oh, you don't even have ace 10?
Ace 9. Ace 10. I'm glad I put you on ace 10. I'll see you later.
How come you don't put me on the aces?
Huh?
How come you don't put me on the aces? No?
Maybe. I don't think so.
Seven. That's Hollywood. Hollywood, I like that.
Check.
All right, Hollywood.
Check.
Family pot.
$5.
That's an In-N-Out burger. No, a $5 is a...
That's raised to 15. 15 now.
Catching the wire.
No, let's see. 15 is 4 double-doubles, 2 chocolate shakes, and a...
45.
You also 2 double-double?
I like his hand better.
What the heck? You got a 7? I can look at one more card.
2 players. 2 players. $75.
I got 3 sevens. I call you.
Okay, cool.
You got straight.
You got a straight, you win. I got a boat. You got a boat, you take it.
Lock it.
Yeah. Boy, I needed a queen bet. I figured he had a monster. The 75 is the right bet.
We test the water and fucking...
Yeah, I test the water.
Let's go.
I didn't want to get trapped. That's why I test the water.
I lost the minimum. I lost the minimum.
Water was cold. It wasn't water.
I know a lot of players would have gone all in. I lost the minimum.
It was icy.
Icy, man. I'd like to see a queen, but I got all those chips. All those chips. Should have an
So,
ace.
computer hand is one of your favorite hands?
Something. Nope.
Because of the lady, huh? Yeah,
8 players.
I check.
Check.
Go.
I'll move down there somewhere. Check. Check.
Over there?
Somewhere down there.
Okay, so I don't have to do anything.
You tried it better. I know you're trying to grab it.
Check.
I check.
What is this, 8-player in the hand?
Check. Sit two.
No wonder I don't beat this game.
Yeah.
Ah, boy.
50.
Blind him.
No wonder it's hard to beat this game. 8 players.
Possible.
They should have mixed games on this table.
1, 2.
Right, yeah.
I am.
Good luck to you.
Game's too tough for me.
No.
Lost. Down $20.
Leaving?
Yeah, I'm gonna look for some house.
Wait a minute. I think I left something on that table there. Is there anything else? No? I got my wallet, my keys, my glasses. Okay. I got everything.
Sit open. One sit open. You're big blind.
Oh, no.
Raise 15. Five players. Okay.
30.
Bet 30. Raise 260. Chips and 4. Three players. Bet 100. Two players. All in. Thank you. Make it 30 more.
30 more.
30 more, yes.
Too much. What is that? Chips?
Someone ate some of it already. I just opened it.
That's the way they come. They go by weight. Less preservatives for you.
30.
Winner.
Better late than never.
So raise. Call.
Six players. Bet 20.
20's plenty.
20, 20. Two players. $20. Thank you.
Oh, I know.
They're watching you, man.
Damn it, I thought I was being smooth about it, too.
I give you my money back and leave real quick.
Call, okay.
You signed the waiver before, right?
Yeah, the first day I signed it. When you first started. You want my number?
He raised?
No, no.
No?
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay. 5 players.
No, I saw that purple. I thought he was throwing it in.
This is a call.
Is that all?
40.
Is that all? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you.
The very first one I was here.
Two players.
No, I had played before.
No, but you signed the paper before?
Red call. Yeah, I did.
Call.
I had signed it.
Gee.
I didn't put this in there, so you may not consider this.
Wow, that's a bad beat. Okay.
55.
How much?
155.
30, 55. 155.
I'm going to leave a winner. I'm going to cash out after that. Nice hand. I say no, anything but an ace.
Sure.
I'm done.
157.
You got anybody have a rack? Take it.
Just got lucky on the rear.
Oh, of course. Well, I guess I'm going to play one more hand. I didn't want to play it, man.
Oh, you scrapped a big blind back.
Oh,
You put it, but you...
okay, okay. I'm there. I'm there.
Raise 50 total.
Since this is my last hand, I'll give you a little.
Action.
I'll give you a little action.
Two players.
Okay. God, this is a hand I didn't even want to play.
40.
All right.
65.
Hey. There's a hand I didn't want to play. I call. It's good. I got a little bit left. I'll stay another hand. That's a pretty bad beat. Sneak in with those cards. I win this hand, I'll play another one.
Basically, you're going to stay as long as you win.
That's it.
The first hand, you lose your attitude.
45.
Is that right?
I got another good hand. I know what you have too. You have a king queen.
Nobody knows it.
Suited.
Two players.
I check.
Check around.
Take it away. Show me your king queen. Show me. Oh, what was it? Oh, okay, nice. Good luck, guys.
And we are back. And I am joined for the last part of the show with Scott Groves. Of course, we are live at the bike. We are doing a $300 to $500 no-limit hold'em game. Restricted buy-in, $300 minimum, $500 maximum. The yellow chips are $5 chips. The blues are 1s, and the purples are 25s.
The sexiest game, I think, in Southern California going right now is this $300 to $500 restricted buy-in. And I don't even work here, so I don't even have to say that, Bart. That's the cool thing. But no, I play a lot of different games, and this game seems to be the best because it kind of you can maintain your control over your losses and wins, but also you have enough chips in front of you to protect your hands, which is nice.
Looked like Rob there was probably either Rob or Ullette was the pre-flop raiser. If Rob's going to continue with the bet, it was probably Rob. Ullette smooth called with ace king. She's probably going to let it go. Now Mike there in C9, he's checked the jack. He has top pair, and you'd imagine he might throw a check raise in there or check call, see where he's at. And Rob continues with that bet. Not that bad of a bet, flop there for pocket sevens. A rash there in seat 5. He's going to call with ace-8. And Mike is in there with the Chen jack. Wow, a king comes on the turn. It's going to give Mike a flush draw with his jack, and he's going to move all in right here. And that's a pretty good move, as it doesn't look like anyone can call. And no one is going to call. Mike's going to have to get off that phone there in seat 9, because we do not allow electronic equipment on the table when they play to help protect the integrity of the game.
Mike's a big-time action player, and he's actually been banned from a couple areas because of how aggressive he gets and gets a little upset when he gets bad beats. So it should be interesting how his chip stack and his...
He's been banned?
He's been banned from a couple casinos.
Really?
Hence the reason we're seeing him here live at the bike for the first time in a while.
Huh.
So, but he's a strong player and an aggressive player. But if he gets one or two bad beats or a little verbal needling, it'll be interesting to see what happens to his chip stack. And while we were gone, I was checking out some of the action. It looked like seat 2 Rick just picked up some monster hands, flopping sets left and right, and I think he flopped 2 pair or something like that, and it got paid off up until the river when he made some gross overbets.
Well, Ullette has flopped a set of 5s, and a rash there in seat 5. He's flopped bottom 2 pairs. Ullette's led for 35 with top set, and seat 5 is in big trouble. He's made it 100 straight.
Basically drawing dead here. Yeah, drawing dead.
Unless he got some sort of quad combination. No, actually, he couldn't. You're right. He couldn't really even get that. Some sort of weird straight. Anyways, look at this. Ullette just smooth calls. And the turns of 5 when Ulette's made quads. Now, bad for her. That counterfeits his 2 pairs.
Yeah, really bad card for her. She's going to need a 4 or deuce on the river to really get paid off.
But she checks and he bets, though. He's going to bet 70. And look at this. She's going to check raise with quads. Wow, a lot of people would slow play this hand, hope for the guy to catch up. But she's got 4 5s, and all Rash really has now is a pair of 4s and 5s.
The problem is it's almost overkill because at this point your player can't have top pair, so the best thing you can have is bottom 2 pair and trying to make a move out. I think you go into check and
check call mode
check
there.
Call, and then
one
maybe
of the
$75 value bet for the river.
This is one of the only times where I would say slow playing is probably almost 100% proper.
Exactly.
In this spot. I don't know why you would check raise here, unless you think the guy might have a straight, maybe flopped a straight or a different type of set, but I can't imagine that seat 5 would call here now, because what can he possibly beat?
Absolutely nothing. Can't beat ace 4. Can't beat ace 3.
He's going to call. Wow. He's going to make the call. You let it check raise to 100. Look at Youlette's face there in seat 3.
that was a bit of a tell there, folks.
And the river's a 10 of hearts.
And the problem is, now that he's called 200, he's pot committed for any bet she can put out there.
Well, she bets $100. The pot is now somewhere around $500 or $600. And is he just going to call with a pair of 4s? Does he realize he's counterfeited?
If he turns it over, let's listen real close and see if he says 2 pair.
$100 bet. About 600 in the pot, so 700 in the pot now, 100 to call. He's getting about 6 to 1 on his money here, Scott, but still, what can he possibly do?
He can't be anything.
And he calls. He makes the call with a pair of 4s, and Youlette turns over quads. And, wow. You got to think that maybe seat 5 isn't really familiar with Youlette in seat 3.
No, not at all whatsoever. Anybody that's been on the 2+2 posting or in the casino for more than about a day knows Youlette's not going to make a move, per se, with ace high there. Which is about all he could beat is ace high.
Yeah, you can't really beat, I guess he could beat a pair of deuces, 5s and deuces, but...
It pains me that you just had to say that out loud, Bart.
And it looks like he's pretty much broke. And he's going to go back in. In this game, you can buy anywhere from 3 to 500. And I was going to say, well, this is almost 100. It's funny because a poster on 2+2, Russ McGinley, actually put a post in about playing this game pretty straightforward. And I was saying, well, this is maybe one time where I would slow play. But if you're going to get paid off no matter what you have,
who cares?
Why not bet?
Yeah, it's like if somebody can post up a little picture there of a super donkey, maybe a donkey with like a Superman cape or something like that, that would be very appropriate.
We're going to see 5-way action here. It's limped around. Deuce 8-3, 2 diamonds. Looks like Mike there in seat 9 on the button still has the best hand with 7s. And Alan is going to lead here in seat 6. Looks like with a 3, and Mike lays down the 7s there. And
Mike is, I'm telling you, I've played with Mike several times, and he's a real aggressive player. I'm surprised he doesn't put in a little raise there to kind of see where he's at, especially against seat 6.
And actually, that wasn't Alan in seat 6. That's a Croche. It's a new player, and Alan had moved to seat number 8.
And then in seat 7, of course, we have Tony, who's kind of like the mirror image of Youlette minus a Y chromosome.
But looks like Andy, the action player, left the table.
Oh, Andrew was here earlier?
I don't know if we're thinking of the same person.
I'm thinking about Crazy Andrew, all in before the flop for 500.
No.
No peaky?
No. Different guy. Okay. Similar style, but different guy.
Yeah, anytime you guys are down here at the bike and you're at a table with Andrew, just prepare for the biggest fluctuation game you've ever imagined.
We're going to see 5-way action here. King, King, 6, and seat number 2 has got trip kings. He's flopped it. That's Rick in seat 2. And he's checked the trip kings, and 9 comes on the turn now.
Well, the problem is he's going to fire out here, and, so many people in poker these days...
But look at this. Tony has a full house. Tony's flopped a full house. Kings, 6 is full of kings. And it looks like
75.
He has raised here, so the king-queen...
Kings are going broke,
The
period.
king-queen checked the flop, and Tony checked behind with the made full house. And now Rick's put a bet out, and Tony's raised. Rick put, I think, about a $20 bet out in seat 2.
175.
And look at this. He's going to come back over the top to 175, and Tony quickly moves all in.
He calls.
And seat 2 calls, and Tony's going to bust seat 2 with 6s full of kings. And he's got quite a bit of chips back there.
Yeah, he's got about 575 in chips. He won 2 or 3 major pots. I don't think Tony has him covered here. I think it's going to leave Rick with about $100.
So Tony won about $500 from that guy.
You know, honestly, if Tony goes all in, and this is just Rick's unfortunate incident that he hasn't played with Tony before. If Tony puts me all in on that board and I'm not holding a full house, I'm going to fold.
Well,
Tony's not messing around.
Well, the other thing, again, about Tony and Ulett and some of the other house players is that they usually will bet their hands, and you can't really put Tony on a king if he checked the flop.
No.
Maybe he was in position, but usually you'd think that he'd put a lot of money. Now you bet with 3 kings, and he shows strength by re-raising you 2 times. Yeah, probably king queen's not going to be good there, but again, you usually can't see that type of laydown at this level.
You know, of course the perfect information raise there to 100. I love it. You know, somebody bets out 75, you want to know where you're at, you make it 175. If he comes over the top, I mean, maybe you're tied, but against most players at this level, the 3 to 500, I would insta-call with my 3 kings. Against Tony, he's one of the few players I would lay it down against. And I guess that's just a benefit of me being a degenerate and spending too much time playing poker here at the exciting Bicycle Casino
15
in Bell Gardens.
Seat number 5 there, Rashi's going to lead here with deuce 5. He's got a straight draw, second pair. Doesn't look like anyone really can call him, and he's going to take it down. And again, you can follow a live thread that started on the internet by going to 2plus2.com. Click on Tournament Poker, World Poker Tour, and other televised tournaments. Click on the Live at the Bike official thread, and we're right there. That's what when we make these references to 2plus2, that's what we're referencing. We are doing a $300 to $500 no-limit hold'em, restricted buy-in game. The blinds in this game are 5 and 5. And the yellow chips are $5 chips, the purples are 25s, and the blues are 1s. Most people will stack their chips in 20 chip denominations, so a stack is about $100, or it is $100 if they've got it in 20 chips.
And even though this table opening up would have a max buy-in of right around $4,500, I think we're well above that as far as chips in play. So this game's been going a while, building some momentum. And I know Nicole cashed out of this table a little bit earlier for about $1,600. She took quite a bit off a few guys.
4, 5, 6, 2 spades on the flop. It got checked around. The turn is a 3, bringing a 1 card straight to the board, and a 3 flush, and it gets checked around here again on the turn.
7 king actually has by far the best hand. Everybody drawing for a chop.
And Karosh did not bet on the straight there on the turn. Now he's going to bet 15 here on the river as a jack high blank card comes on the river. And I can't imagine that he's going to get called by anyone, and he doesn't. And he takes it down.
Still not advocating playing king 7 in early position. Oh, maybe that's his big blind.
Well, we've seen a lot of questionable pre-flop hand selections tonight, especially in the early part of the show.
Okay. You know, I think that's kind of conducive, though, of when you get some deeper chip stacks. Say, for example, earlier when Nicole had 1,500, Rob had 1,500, things like that. I think people are willing to peel with some more obscure cards to try to catch a crazy flop and break somebody for $1,500, whereas the 100 or 200 game, you kind of have to just pick a strong hand and go with it.
Pot's been limped around here again. Seat number 9 there, David, he had king, queen suited, didn't raise it up. 3, 7, 8 rainbow on the flop.
25.
And now king, queen with a couple of overcards. Now he's going to bet. And
can't imagine he's going to get a call here from anyone.
No one really hit the flop here at all. No pairs. And he looked like he had the best hand. Well, David was in the early position there. He chose to limp in there with the king, queen suited.
You know, the mediocre starting Broadway hands, I kind of like limp, maybe smooth call a small $20 or $25 raise, try to hit a big 2-pair or straight draw. I can't fault him for limping with something like king jack, king queen suited, something like that.
There's Jack 9 of clubs.
Croce has got he's got an ace jack offsuit on the button. He's going to just choose to limp in here too. So we're going to see 6-way action to the flop. King 6 9, 2 spades. And Alan there in seat 8, he's got a king queen. And he's going to bet 40.
All in.
In seat number 5, he's flopped a set of 9s, and he's going to raise all in over the top, a rash there. And look, Alan looks like he might muck here. And he is going to muck. He's going to lay the king queen down.
Alan must have been taking a beating tonight, because he usually doesn't lay down those top pairs, to be quite honest.
I didn't have anything.
especially when it was only maybe 170 more. But it was a good lay down.
Betting me, you know I'm betting seven.
That's nice. You flop the set.
So sweet, so sweet.
I was drawing that down with my kids.
Yeah. Yeah, they did it to me. I'm up 4,000. They go, you gotta go to another table.
Again, as you can see, some of the little bit of clutter there in the background. We're doing a lot of construction here, opening up 8 new tables in the upper plaza level, and this table's the only table in the old plaza level right now, Scott.
Oh, nice. Well, they're bringing a higher limit section. Is that correct?
I think it's more tables for No Limit, moving some of the limit tables around. Gearing up for Legends. Legends is going to be a very, very busy time coming up for us. Starts in, a week and a half now.
Yeah, week and a half. I love Legends. The single table satellites are monstrous action and a lot of side action. It's a lot of fun. I had a lot of good times last year, actually, last August.
6-way action here. It's been limped around. We have an 8-4-3, 2 diamonds.
7-10 hits a big flop in seat 4 there.
Yep, he's got a flush draw. But seat number 3, it looked like bet.
Oh, wait, seat 9 has him dominated. My mistake.
Seat 3 bet there. You let, kind of on a, she's got a gut shot straight draw. A 10 comes on the turn. Now Brian has got a flush draw on seat 4 with top pair. And it gets checked to him, and now he's going to bet.
And if Mike stays in the hand in seat 9, look for a semi-bluff here.
He's going to, looks like he's bet $100. No, he's just going to smooth call, it looks like.
Wow.
So the pot now is about $360. Oulette's going to muck the ace-5. Brian better hope that a diamond doesn't come here on the river. Mike's going to have to hit an ace or a diamond, and the river's a deuce. And Oulette would have made her wheel if she'd stayed in seat 3.
Ouch.
And it gets checked down, and 7-10's going to take it down.
Yeah, 7-10 drawing really thin there after I saw that ace-9 had the redraw to the same higher flush.
He's going to take all your chips, man.
Can't fault Oulette there for laying down that straight draw with 2 flush cards on the board.
And heavy resistance behind her. A bet to 100 and smooth call. He might be drawn to 3 outs.
And she was. Drawing to 3 outs. She needed to hit that non-diamond 2.
Yeah, her ace wasn't even actually good because seat 9 Mike was in there with the higher ace.
Yep.
Ace 9.
Yeah, I like Andrew, but this guy is a good player. He's a good player. Excellent player.
I think seat 6 used to be a dealer here. I think I used to play with him a lot about 6 months, a year ago. Haven't seen him around a lot lately.
5-way action to the flop. It's limped around. It's about a $25 pot. Got a 5, king, 6, 2 diamonds. Seat number 4 there's got a king. And it gets checked around. Tony's got a flush draw on seat 7, and there's the flush on the turn.
Queen high. Let's see if the king bets it out here.
Well, he chose to check the flop, and Tony's checked the flush again, and now a diamond comes on the river. It brings a 1-card straight flush to the board, and Tony can't even know if his hand is good. A king, an ace, a deuce of diamonds, or 7 of diamonds would have been good, and he checks it down. I can't believe he didn't put any money in that pot. Boy, that is
10 high flush.
Incredible, Scott. I just can't believe he didn't put any money in there.
Tony's tight.
He makes the absolute minimum. The absolute minimum on that hand. What are you waiting for? If you've got a made flush there on the turn, why not put some money in there?
The only thing I'm looking at is that he had 2 below the nuts. There's only $20 in the pot. You know, if he puts some type of value out there and gets some outrageous check raise or re-raise, you know, maybe he just doesn't want to put that much money in the middle. I understand what you're saying. You definitely want to value bet those hands, but since No Limit's kind of more of a trap game opposed to like limit poker, you know, maybe a $20 flop, a $20 pot, he doesn't want to put money out there and risk the huge gross overbet or re-raise.
Yeah, but you know that you can't play scared in Hold'em, and I just can't believe that you'd want to let a 4th diamond peel off there and let someone with a dangling king or an ace beat you on the river. Can't believe he didn't put more money in there.
The problem is these days you get so many super donkeys that are re-raising with the ace high draw and things like that. I don't know.
Well, Croce here, he's raised to 15, and Tony's come over the top of him with pocket 9s. He's made it 50 to go. Brian in seat 4 is thinking about coming in with a low-suited connector, 3-4 clubs.
I'd much rather call it 3-4 clubs than something like ace-jack or ace-10 in this situation. You kind of know where Croce and Tony are. He elects not to, though.
Wow, Croce is going to lay the ace-king down. That's a pretty tight play. Tony's going to Going to take it down. Ace king, out of position. If you don't flop, you get a 1 in 3 chance of flopping a pair. Shows the 9s.
You have a dollar there, sir?
Yeah, and again, that's the strength of being the tighter player at the table like Tony or Ulette is that, Ace King doesn't look so hot when you get re-raised by the tightest player at the table.
I can tell you that Ulette would have put a bet in there in position with Queen 10 of diamonds at the made flush on the turn. So, the analogy, I don't know. But again, you can make comments, suggestions, questions, feedback to what we've been saying by going to 2plus2.com. Click on Tournament Poker. Televised, World Poker Tour and televised tournaments, and we're right there.
And another exciting hand. Looks like we got a Ace-Jack, a King-Jack. Suited wannabe connectors, 3-9.
Yeah, Ace-Jack there suited from the button for the Mr. Bobby Bland lookalike in seat 1, Rob. And he's going to raise it to 20.
I haven't seen him play too many pots, so kind of interested to see how the table reacts to his first raise here. First raise I've seen in about an hour.
He's actually played pretty tight because we've seen him lay down some hands
3 player.
In the early part of the show. And we're going to get 3-way action there. Mike's going to come in with a 9-3 suited. Queen 10-8, 3 flush, all hearts. No one has a heart. King Jack's got an open-ended straight draw.
Do you put in the semi-bluff here with the open-ended straight draw? Just hoping you don't run into a made flush part?
Check around.
Well, he's going to check it to the razor and the button checks. Now maybe he might put in that semi-bluff that you were talking about, but he doesn't.
And Ace-Jack actually still has the best hand. Going to bet it like he has it. Oh,
and the deuce of diamonds comes on the river.
Wow.
Let's see if somebody fires here.
Somebody bet. There's $70 in the pot. Try to take it down.
And now Rob bets.
I really don't like that bet on the river. I'm not a huge fan of that at all because anybody that can call you is going to have you dominated. You're in position. Why not just check it down? I mean, at that point, somebody with ace deuce might call you since you showed weakness the whole way. I really don't like that bet on the river. You're only going to get called if you're beat. Turn over your cards, hope ace-jack is good, and be done. If somebody shows you pocket threes, oh well, you only have $20 invested.
I'm a little surprised there that seat 6 didn't throw in a bet from early position with king-jack into an open-ended straight draw on the turn. I think that would have been a nice play.
I mean, board's paired and there's hard, so obviously if somebody has something that's already made, you're going to lose $20, but at least give yourself a chance to win.
There's king-queen seated there for seat 6. He's limped in here from early position. And we're going to see 5-way action to the flop. It's about a $25 pot. 6 jack. No one has a jack. And Brian with ace high is good here in seat 4. Another jack comes on the turn. Let's see if ace high bets out here, and he's going to.
Yes. Brian, my new hero.
And he's going to take it down.
Ace high. No, I got
Big line, please.
I got chicken. So I had a original.
So we got a new booth here at Live at the Bike that's pretty nice and cozy, Bart.
That's right, and that's what I was telling some of the viewers out there why we were a couple minutes late tonight.
Lots of extra space.
Had some of the technical people behind the scenes Live at the Bike work many hours to transfer the room to where it is now.
I do see, however, that the refrigerator has not made it in here yet, so we're not going to be able to bring you any Scott Grove's Shuts Up breaks for Diet Pepsi.
This pot looked like it got chopped down. Chopping, of course, folding around to the blinds, and small blind pays the modified collection, which in this game I believe is 50 cents. And they don't see a flop, and they don't have to pay that collection, the $3 collection, when you see a flop.
That killed me. I had a boat. Oh. What was your other card? Oh, you had pocket fives. I'm sorry.
She said she made a quad.
Everybody's still talking about the exciting set of fives and what have you. The interesting thing is that people like Ulette and players that are really tight, they continue to make the money that they're going to make. But once players catch on and can kind of trap them with their big hands and whatnot, it can get pretty dangerous for a player like that.
Of course, you're referring to a 2+2 post that was made by Garland here.
Garland came down and played the other day. I didn't get to see how he did. Maybe those of you out there in 2+2 world can fill me in on whether Garland's as good as he posts.
Jack comes here on the turn. It's a 3 flush, 5 ace Jack.
And nobody's got anything here. Come on, first to bet wins.
Betting 25.
Well, someone had bet there on the flop, and because a couple people had mocked.
Pocket deuce is the best hand folded, the only one with a flush redraw. And easy money, power of position right there, and Brian showing how position works.
No.
And the great thing is, even in the 3 to 500, where sometimes it's a little loose and you're going to get a lot of calling stations, Brian has a pretty tight persona and he's a pretty tight player. So he can use that position. He can use position bets and raises to try to take down some pots, which is really nice for him. Not for me, because I'm a little bit looser and crazier, but for Brian, it works really well. And it looks like on this flop we got a lot of nothing.
Anyone wondering what that noise was in the background? I think it was some unauthorized drilling going on. We may hear a little bit more of that because it looks like the painter painting the new walls is moving some stuff around. Just
nice.
A great incentive to come down here during Legends. Look at the new casino. You won't recognize it, Top Level Plaza.
Yeah, and they'd already expanded that once about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, when No Limit got so popular.
Yeah.
They took down the old bus corral. And it looks like this hand we got again a whole lot of nothing.
Limp.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised.
There's been a lot of pre-flop raising in this game all night.
We need to get Kenny in on this table, or somebody that's going to mix it up a little bit, because usually there's at least one player at the 3 to 500 game that'll put in a lot of pre-flop raises, kind of drive the action or take down a lot of pots with aggression, and haven't seen that in about the hour and a half I've been watching.
Flop is a 3 king queen, and looks like Rick bet there with the open-ended straight draw, and he takes it down.
Maybe we get a shot in a minute here of Tony's chips and see. I think he bought in just for the minimum 3, maybe 400, and he's done pretty healthy for himself here.
Well, he made, alone 600 or 700 off that hand, so he's got quite a, definitely, probably somewhere around 1,000.
Because I know he's got about half a stack of purple chips. He might be closer to 2 at this point, which would be a pretty good score for a 3 to 500 game. And it looks like we got a bunch of limps.
Limped around again. 8-8-5. Brian there in
7-8.
C4. He's got trip 8s.
And once in a while, I'd like to see people just bet their chips right straight out on the flop.
Well, Tony's going to bet here with the 5, and Brian check calls with trip 8s.
The problem is it's pretty blatantly obvious now that...
well, now a 9 comes on the turn, and let's see if... Oh, now 7-8 is going to bet. I was going to say if Brian maybe checked it, maybe Tony would take a card, maybe try to hit that straight. But
yeah, I mean, if you go check, smooth call, bet it out on the turn, and the board's paired, you might as well just put a big sign on your head that says, I have the pair. Or, I'm sorry, the trips. I'm a much bigger fan of people betting out in that situation, especially these days with everyone and their brother slow playing it to death.
What place? 49. 49?
So, seat number 3, Yolette, she's in the big blind here. And seat 5 is limped in with a deuce 8 of hearts in early position. Interesting. Button comes in there with ace 8 suited. We're going to see a flop. 4-way action. 6-10-3 rainbow.
Wow, Queen 3 is the best hand. How sad is that?
Yeah, Eulette's got bottom pair. Turn is a 9. Eulette still has the best hand. It looks like it's going to get checked around again. And the river's a 10. And gets checked down again, and Eulette's going to take it down from the big blind.
Yeah. That's the easiest $23 she's ever made, I think. And thank you, Tom Domain. Appreciate the Photoshop skills.
On 2+2. Again, go to 2plus2.com, follow the thread. Ace Queen here from seat 9. He's going to raise it up. Going to make it 35 to go.
Yeah, it doesn't look like anybody has much to play with here. Maybe
a couple of suited aces in here. Seat 7's got an ace 4 suited. 6 has got ace deuce suited.
Yeah.
And they're not
Unfortunately, the only people that had aces were the only ones that are tight enough to lay it down for a measly $30. You ever had a big game, Bart, where you just get $30 to death? It's like you never really have a monster hand to make the big re-raise, but you always got something you got to call with.
Well, I wouldn't be calling there with ace deuce suited, that's for sure. For
no,
$30.
I definitely wouldn't. I've just been on a streak lately.
We're not playing Omaha.
Pocket 9s and pocket 10s have been killing me. You know, having to smooth call or see a flop or make a raise, somebody comes over the top all in. It's just like medium pocket pairs have been just tearing me a new one about the last 4 weeks. Maybe I should learn how to play those. Any advice out there from 2+2? Medium pocket pairs, no limit.
They get limped around here again. 5-way action. 6, 10, 8. It's 2 diamonds.
Check around.
It's like seat 4 has got a 6. Brian. Turn is a 10.
6 limpers and we have 1 pair.
Mike there in seat 9, he's got the ace of diamonds. And he's going to bet 25.
5 face exposed.
And Brian is thinking in seat 4, is my 6 good? He's going to make the call with 3-6.
I like it.
Seat 5 is also in there with deuce 9 of diamonds. And the river is a queen of hearts. And 3-6 is
Let's
good.
see if Mike makes a move at it here. In position.
No, he's gonna give up. 3-6 is good. Well, deuce 9 of diamonds had the 9 of diamonds, and I guess like
nothing.
He had
a 9 draw.
Well, he had a double gutter. He could have caught a 7 or a jack, but again, didn't quite realize that if the jack comes, someone with a king's got a 4-liner to a straight. And if the bottom comes, you could just probably be drawing to a chop. So, and he's
and better yet, you might only be drawing to 3 outs.
Looking to hit a diamond that the other guy had the nut. So I got to pay attention to these things.
No, it's only no limit, Bart. Come on. Tony looks so at home, man. If I saw Tony anywhere but a poker table, I'd be confused. Probably wouldn't even remember his name.
Raise 25 total.
Rob's going to make it 25 to go. He's got ace jack suited. And Rash there, he's going to come in with pocket 4s.
I like being the first hitter of the pot with ace jack, but man, when you get 2-3 callers, it's just not a good feeling.
Seat 6 has got 7, 9 of hearts, and we're going to see a flop. Ace jack queen. Rob's got up and down, and I can't imagine that he's going to get any action when he bets here.
Betting 30.
He's going to bet 30.
Well, at least he did bet, because the only thing that can happen is a runner bad beat. I'm crying tonight about how I didn't protect my hand, so a lot of draws out there as far as 3 Broadway cards, so good bet.
Well,
Take it down now.
10 or a king comes on the turn. You don't know where you're at.
Exactly.
Very low pocket pair, but
Maybe somebody can let Rob know his hat's on crooked. He's got to square that up.
Live straddle.
Got a straddle there by Mike in seat. By David in seat 9.
Trying to get a little more action going here.
$10 to call. Now, Ouellette's got a king-queen suited. Boy, I would have loved to have seen her come in there with a raise, get a little looser with the raises with the live straddle, but she just chooses to limp. Seat 7's got ace-king. That's Tony, and he's going to raise it up, it looks like. Wow, he's going to make it 100 total, trying to pick up the limpers.
There's $40 out there. He's only got one more blind hand behind him, and he knows Ouellette's going to lay down anything. So.
You have $1 there?
How about 50 cents?
Fine. You want your blind, sir?
Chooses not to.
That's a nice little $40 pot, minimal risk. Unless by some miracle the straddle does wake up with a monster hand or is very adamant about protecting his hand with something like 6-7 suited. And we got another live straddle by Mike.
$25, full time.
Mike kind of fuels on the action games. He likes to get games going action stylely and then kind of turn into a snake in the grass and lay back for a big hand. Kind of a good strategy.
Oh, half. Okay.
He came in.
Misfly.
All right, that'd be nice.
Option.
And Tony just going to smooth call there with 3-7 of spades.
Yeah.
See if Mike comes in for a raise now.
Well, I think Brian there raised it to 10 with King 8, if I'm correct. Oh, Mike was the straddle. Mike straddled
yeah.
last hand. Huh.
Somebody came in between for his big blind. Brian actually with the best hand, top pair and mid pair and a king.
And he's gonna bet.
Yeah, he's gonna take it down.
Actually, you said Jack 6. It was funny. I had Jack 6.
Yeah, Mike knew that.
Well, it's nothing like taking 2 extra double-sized big blinds around.
Not bad.
$20. There you go.
Is it raw?
I'll have to get a T-shirt that says "I limp with King Little."
I want the raw. I want sushi. Oh, sushi sandwich.
That's new. Sushi sandwich.
What's a sushi sandwich?
Queen 10 suited here on the button for Tony.
All right, I'm gonna raise.
And he's going to make it
Raise 15 total.
15 to go.
Don't really think that's enough to drive off the 2 blinds.
Well, Mike mucked the ace-3 offsuit from the big blind. So.
Mike's let me down. He's usually action. Hey, Bart, why don't you run out there and tell somebody to raise, man?
Oh, something like a loose passive table, especially in a no-limit game. Pocket kings here for seat 2.
Raise. Make it 25.
He's going to make it 25 to go.
Last time I made a
Now, this is a type of table where I definitely would not try to pull the limp re-raise because we haven't seen any raising.
Exactly.
So you're not going to limp in with kings and hope someone raises from behind.
And Mike thinking about peeling it off with
Jack deuce suited. He's going to call.
Wow.
What a $45 pot here. Kings against Jack deuce suited.
A lot of value in that hand.
Queen 9 deuce.
And he hits a pair with a couple backdoor draws.
Well, this is not a time to maybe make a check raise move because Rick doesn't have any money behind him. So.
Yeah.
Rick bets and he takes it down.
Rick
And that's
took a
why you
piece
probably
just in
wouldn't want to make that call with Jack deuce suited if you've got 250 in front of you and the other guy only has maybe 170.
Well, I don't think you ever want to make that call unless maybe the blinds are 5 and 10 and everybody at the table is 5,000 deep. Oh, yeah, we can test out my favorite poker theorem. Seat 6 is going to be even tighter than normal because he's eating dinner. If seat 6 comes in for a raise, there is 0.0% chance he's bluffing.
Seat 6 has got pocket aces. Look at that. Look what he
I
said
guarantee you, seat 6 raises, and you better get the hell out of the way. He's eating dinner.
No one's got anything to call here. Oh, Rash is limped in with Queen 10 suited, so let's see if he... No, he's not. He's going to muck here.
Everybody thinks I'm just blowing smoke when I tell that joke, but I'm serious, man. If somebody's eating dinner and they come in for a raise, just get out of the way. I think I've said that about 100 times. Probably got chastised for it 99. And, you know, due to the no-limit Hold'em frenzy, the mere $100 no-limit buy-in tournament, we have lost a lot of our action players in the evening between the hours of 7:15 and about 9:15 when all the action $100 tournament players are going nuts. But the games really start picking up again right around 10, 11 o'clock, which is unfortunately when we're off the air. So if you guys have noticed the game action is a little bit slower than normal, it's because leading up to Legends, we have a lot of frenzy action going on, a lot of small no-limit buy-in tournaments where everyone and their brother's going crazy, including myself, who check raised somebody all my stack with pocket deuces, and I found out certain moves don't work against aces.
We've got six-way action here. It's been limped around. Queen 3, 8, 2 clubs. Seat 5's going to lead here with Queen Jack.
Deuce 6 not looking too bad.
Rick in seat 2 has got a flush draw. Rob there in seat 1, he's got pocket 9s. He chose not to raise from the button with all those limpers. Chose to play it conservatively. And Rick mucks the flush draw, and Arash takes it down. A lot of times you see a bunch of limpers and you got pocket 9s. You might want to put a little raise in there on the button, knock some of those people out.
And on that flop with no real, nobody showing pre-flop strength, obviously, Rick got a free ride in his small blind. Rick showed mostly good hands. He hasn't done anything totally out of line. I would have liked maybe a semi-bluff there, maybe a check raise with the flush draw, try to take down the pot. But my rationale is always more aggression. That's probably why I get stuck for so many buy-ins before I go on a little run.
Rob looks like he's moved from seat 1 to seat 3. And Eulette, guess she's gone.
Eulette took her $7.50 profit and decided to head home. Actually, I don't know how much she made. I think she made about $300, $400 off that quad 5s.
Wow. Just gets checked around. Rick's got bottom 2 pairs, 3-10. And actually, you know what? He's not in the hand. Sorry about that. I thought he was in the blind.
No, folded on the button, actually.
Yeah. Because he had moved over there to seat 3, so. New player Mike coming into seat 1.
Let's see if this is Asian Mike, Glasses Mike, or Tournament Mike. 2 out of 3 are dangerous. Okay, it's the non-dangerous one, Glasses Mike. If that was Tournament Mike that just sat down in seat 1, we'd see a lot of action. You guys get a little education in the semi-bluff. So we got anything exciting lined up for the month of the Legends out here at Live at the Bike, Bart? We're going to get some higher limit games or anything sassy going in the month of August?
You got it. Tons of sassy stuff coming up.
Come on, give me some sass.
Seat 3 here has got ace queen, 9-5 queen. It's a rainbow. And it looks like seat 3 checked here, the ace queen. And the button is going to bet. The button's got jack 9. So ace queen just check calls. The turn is a king. Ace queen against jack 9.
About the least favorite card you want to see there.
I don't know why Rob wouldn't put a bet there in position on the flop. Turn is a king.
Because now Brian has a pair and he's added extra outs with the straight draw. So now a 9, jack, 10, or really anything but an ace or a king on the river is going to scare Rob even more. So Brian bets out here. Let's see if Rob wasn't setting him up for a move.
Betting 30.
Brian's going to bet $30 with ace queen. Now remember, he check called the flop. The turn was a king. And now possibly uses that as a little bit of a scare card. And Brian lays it down.
I don't know why you'd play it that way. I mean, you don't put extra money in when you have the best hand, and then when you're potentially beat, maybe someone with like jack king or 9 king or who knows, is going to peel one off. I just can't imagine putting the money on fourths on the turn and not the flop.
Yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't put the money in there with ace queen, because you don't necessarily know that the button's going to bet. Why give everybody a free card there at the table?
Got some advice here on how I should play medium pairs. Russ McGinley says, see a cheap flop. See a flop cheap, flop a set, bust jackasses who can't get away from top pair over pairs. Yeah, I agree. I need to fold more to those mediocre raises.
I was looking at Whalecock's comment saying that Scott asked Russell Fox about middle pairs. I heard he mastered no limit hold'em.
All you got to do, if you're Russell Fox and you have a middle pair, throw them away. If you have pocket 10s, throw them away. If you have pocket queens and somebody raises, throw them away.
Brian there in seat 4, he's got ace queen this time. Queen 9-3.
And somehow that guy still gets paid off.
Betting 30.
And Tony's going to lead here with a flush draw and a pair in seat 7. Alan's going to call with a higher flush draw in seat 8. Now, what do you do if you're Brian? Now, Rob obviously, Rob's got second pair with an ace kicker. He mucks.
If you're Brian, you protect your hand and you put in a healthy $100 raise here. That's what I would do. Because there is no card on the turn except for a red ace. an ace of spades or hearts that can make you happy.
Well, he's just going to make a call. I was going to say, if he raised, I wonder if Tony would have come over the top of him. So we're going to see a turn. The turn is a 7 of hearts. And now that gives Alan a pair with the flush draw as well.
Betting 150.
And now it gets checked. It gets checked to Brian, and Brian's not going to give the free card. He's going to bet with ace-queen. He makes it 150.
I think we could see a big move here from Alan.
Well,
Middle
the question
pair
is,
and a 10-high flush draw.
Well, the question is now, how much does Tony and Alan have, and how much does Brian have? Brian's seat 4. That's the real issue, how many chips he has in seat 4.
Tony has enough chips to get him off his hand if he makes a move here and makes a check raise all in. It's still a fairly uncoordinated flop, but there's just too much chance that Tony's playing a set. Maybe he got in there crazy with Queen 9 or something like that in his blind position.
Looks like seat 4 it maybe might have another 300. So
I don't think seat 4 has enough to get
off
Brian off his hand, but Tony definitely does.
Tony just makes a call here. He just flat calls 150, and now we're looking at about a $420 pot, and the river is an 8.
Not a good-looking card. I mean, even
and
though
Tony checks, and Brian's probably going to just check right behind him. And
Ace Queen going to take it down. Like you said, about 450.
I don't really, I wonder if Tony maybe had led harder on the turn and put a big check raise in. If you're going to call 100, why wouldn't you lead with 100? Because if Tony, if you're going to call 150, which Tony did, why not lead with 150? If he had led with 150. Brian might have mucked the ace-queen. Instead, he just check-called, fell into kind of a conservative mode, and I think kind of played himself into the ground on that hand.
The problem with the lead with 150 is, unless he has a set, the board really isn't coordinated enough for Brian to be ultra scared. It's not like there's 2 big Broadway cards out there, the board's paired or anything like that. So I don't know that a bet of 150 was going to get Brian off the hand. If Tony bets out 150, I don't know if that's going to get Brian off the hand.
4-way action here. It's been limped around. 3-10-8, too close. Alan's got the ace-10, seat 8. He's going to lead out with top pair, best kicker.
And the funny thing is, having played with most of these players, a big pot between Brian and Tony is almost like a whole different dynamic than a pot between, say, 2 of the other random players here at the table, because they're kind of thinking on a different level and they play with each other a lot, so they know each other's kind of their regimen of moves and things like that. So it's a much different game when the 2 of them are playing heads up versus, say, Rick and Tony or Brian and Rick or something like that. Yeah, it looks like we're going to go fold around here. And we're going to get a choppy chop.
You have a dollar there, sir?
Okay. When I have ace, I play.
Thank you.
$300 to $500 no limit hold'em restricted buy-in game. Blinds in this game are 5 and 5. Yellow chips are $5 chips. Purple chips are $25 chips, and the blues are $1 chips.
Which, for some reason, on our camera, the purple chips look like little squares sometimes.
Oh, I always think triangles.
Something other than a circle is what they look like when they get thrown in the middle. And been kind of a slow game, actually. The action was real intense earlier today, and it's kind of slow to a crawl. Maybe we need to order a round of Red Bulls or something here.
The right thing is you either have to chop or not. Doesn't matter what kind of card. Either chop or not. Yeah, or you don't chop.
It's a 4-way action here, limped around. 4, 4, 7. Seat number 9 there, Mike. He's got Jack 7. He's flopped trips. In early position, and he's checked them. The turn is a 9.
Actually, 2 pair there, boss.
You're right. He's flopped Jack. He's flopped top pair. Got excited there for the fact that he didn't bet out again. And he gets checked around here again on the turn. And the river's a 6.
Looks like Jack 7's going to be good.
Yeah, he's got the best hand anyway. Interesting to see there, Mike. Mike didn't put a bet there in on the turn, the flush draw. Well, there's a lot of money in that pot.
Been a lot of passive play in about the last hour. Like I said, we need to get somebody like Tournament Mike or Kenny, or let's see who else is crazy. Scott Groves. He's kind of crazy aggressive. Maybe get some action at the table.
Dave Tuckman, I heard he got called away to a 20-40 stud high-low game. He had to leave.
Very fun game. For those of you that started playing poker pre-Gus Hansen, you probably really like stud high-low.
Well, I like being at a table where I'm 30 years younger than my next closest opponent
So do
by
I.
age. Seat 6 has got ace-queen. He's just going to limp in.
Five-player.
Five-way action here. It's about a $25 pot.
Betting 25.
$25 bet here by Rick. Flop is a jack 9-8. He's got top two pairs.
And I think you really need to throw out a bet here, obviously, because real coordinated board. You very well could be drawing real thin at this point anyways, but he's not, and he wins. Got some chainsaw background noise there for you guys. We're trying to make a B-rated horror movie here in the Live at the Bike booth. And proof enough that we're doing construction, I guess.
Again, programming note. For tomorrow night, we are doing a $200 no-limit hold'em restricted buy-in game with marker chips. Marker chips are you get a chip for every pot that you win. At the end of the night, we pay the person with the most marker chips a bounty, and we have a special guest playing in the game, Brandy Roderick, the Playboy Playmate. Yes, the same one, and her husband, going to be coming down. So everyone tune in for that.
I wonder if that's weird being a Playmate's husband knowing that every guy in the room has seen your wife naked.
He's 10-5 here on the flop. Mike had pocket nines and he didn't raise pre-flop. And Croce has come out with a bet here with ace-3. He's got top pair and he's going to take it down.
I dated this girl one time that I was pretty sure every guy in the room had seen naked at one point. Not my current girlfriend, ex-girlfriend. And that was just a really bad feeling.
I don't even want to get into why they had all seen her naked, but
Well, you
anyway,
can guess.
we'll let that one go.
You can imagine.
Ugh. Guess that's different than opening up a magazine and seeing her naked.
Old girlfriend.
What's that?
Floorman was asking me if that was the current girlfriend or the old girlfriend, due to the fact that the current girlfriend works here at Exciting Bicycle Casino. So we're going to try to get him to spread a new game here at the bike. Bart, you want to hear all about it?
Does it have something to do with strip poker?
No, not at all.
Seat 9 is going to raise here with ace-3 of diamonds, $15.
And the good news, he's dominated by ace-9, who probably can't make the call.
He's in the big blind.
You know, ace-9 is one of those ambiguous hands where you don't know if you want to see you don't want to see an ace or not. So anyways, new idea for a game actually came up at a friend of a friend's home game. Now we got time to talk about that they're changing out the cards, is Staduki. I'm sure a lot of people out there have heard of Paduki, the 4-card limit game that they're spreading a lot of places where you're actually playing. It's basically like a low-ball game, so the best hand is ace, deuce, 3, 4. However, you have to have 4 different suits. That's Paduki. So Stud Dookie would be a stud game where there's a high qualifier and there's a low qualifier, just like Paduki. So it's like a stud high low, but with a little twist. I think you can get him to spread it.
How's your vacation? You had fun?
Hello, Bart.
I'm just trying to think of the combinations. It's kind of like you go for a high.
You can go for a high, but you could have a low Staduki.
So you would never win. You would never scoop a pot if you had a flush, then, right? You couldn't scoop the high and the
No,
low.
that'd be impossible.
Yeah.
Well, you could. I guess it could revert to a 3-card Staduki if nobody had a true 4-card Paduki.
Or I guess a 2-card, right? Cause
Yeah,
you
theoretically.
need 5 cards to the flush.
Yeah, so like if you had a wheel Paduki, that'd be a monster in our exciting new game Staduki. I guarantee you if Jerry Buss catches wind of this, he's going to be playing it here every night, 300, 600 limit.
Well, unfortunately for Jerry Buss, he hasn't been around the bike lately, just because he was really good when he was here on Thursday nights because we put the big game on the show, because he only plays Hold'em.
Well, he's got this little thing called the Lakers that he's kind of having issues with.
It's the off-season. He's already hired Phil Jackson back.
What are you kidding? Their off-season's been more tumultuous than their on-season, and that's hard to do.
Big blind here has got ace-king suited in seat 5.
5 players.
And really, there's just been an excessive amount of limping, which I'm not a real big fan
Ace-king
of.
did not raise out of the blind. King 6-10.
I don't care if you're really loose or really tight, but whichever way, you got to be tight aggressive or loose aggressive.
Now look at this. Seat 5 is bet here. It looks like he's bet 20, and to his immediate left, we've got a king-queen. And how do you put the guy in the blind on ace-king? King-queen is going to smooth call 40. I don't know if that's necessarily the best play with everyone behind me. I might raise it up a bit, but he's going to get into some trouble here.
And now they doesn't have really information on where he is.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's about a $100 pot. The turn is a 4 of spades. Ace King's going to continue to lead. He's going to bet 30 into a $100 pot.
And I bet you the raise comes here.
Well, he doesn't. Is he just going to call here? So it's a $130 pot, 30 to call.
And the only thing that might save him from making a huge misstep is the fact that he is against the small blind. So maybe the small blind
Big
flop
blind.
two. I'm sorry, big blind.
And look at this. He is going to raise. So it's a $30 bet, and he's made it probably 110 straight to go.
I was just going to say maybe he saves himself because the big blind could flop 2 crazy pair like king 10 or 10-6 or something like that. You know, if you're
So
not
now
gonna
the pot
raise
is
the flop,
$240.
I don't like this play at all. If you're not going to raise the flop to protect your hand against the 3 drawers behind you, why would you raise the pot against the big blind?
$240 pot, and it's 80 more for Ace King to call.
I'm not a big fan of how.
And he is going to make the call. He's going to make the call. And look at this. The river is an ace, and Ace King's going to take it down. So he had Karush the whole way.
I mean, do you agree with me here, Bart? If you're not going to raise with your top pair to drive out the people behind you that might be drawing, why would you all of a sudden, when you get heads up against the person most likely to have a crazy 2 pair, why would you then all of a sudden want to get aggressive and take your 1 pair heads up for a strong raise? I'm just not following that whatsoever.
Neither am I.
Other than the fact that maybe he thought he put them all in, he'd fold. I don't know, maybe he knows he's got no ATM card on him or something.
Well, he didn't really have that much more, and pot was about $240, and it was only 80 back to him to call, so it's difficult to lay down Ace King there.
Yeah, of course. That's what I'm saying. He's not going to lay it down. I don't know. I'm real confused there.
You think twice about everything all of a sudden.
You have an option. 5 players.
5-way action here.
Looks like we got a Jack Queen in there. One of my favorite and only limping hands for exactly this reason.
Jack 8-8. 2 spades.
My vision's going bad on me, Bart. Does anybody have an 8?
Nope. The Queen Jack's in the lead. Tony did not bet it.
20.
And now seat 5. Seat 5 has got... Actually, seat 5 does have 5-8. We didn't have it up there. So now he bets with his trip 8s.
We're heads up.
And Tony makes the call. So Tony's in trouble unless he spikes a Jack here, seat 7. A king comes on the river.
And I think Tony's going to let this one go.
60.
And now he's going to bet 60 here.
With Arash in the big blind, I think there's just too much chance that he's got something that beats Tony.
I think it saves Tony a little money when that king comes on the river and the guy continues to bet strong.
You know, again, with the whole flopping trips, when you check the flop, smooth call a bet, and then bet out on the turn or the river, I mean, you might as well just put a big sign on your head that say, I'm the sucker that slow played my trips. You can usually guarantee if I bet out, I either have absolutely nothing or I have a monster. Usually not anywhere in between. A couple people on 2+2 posting about Russ Fox, one of our guest commentators, poker writer, and a pretty excellent player. You know, ultra tight, but a good player nonetheless. Just got some real horrendously bad beats, and commenting how, you know, on a board of 10 deuce, he puts a lot of money in with an overpair, not thinking that anybody would call the tightest player in the casino with a deuce. But unfortunately, well, I should say fortunately, that's the type of action we have going in no limit poker these days.
Got a 9-3-9 flop. The turn is a 10 of clubs. Looks like Allen's going to put money in now with King 3.
Everybody.
And Tony's
drawn
going to
a
call
gutter.
here with King Queen. And the river's a 3, so Allen's made a full house. 9's full of 3s. And Tony checks and Allen bets, and he's going to take it down there at seat 8.
Got it on the river.
Tony was calling there with a couple of overcards and a gut shot straight draw on the turn. King Queen, 9-10 on the board.
Another T-shirt I'm going to get made says I peel for overcards.
Oh, the live straddle here.
Live straddle from a player that's usually live and been kind of quiet today. I have noticed that Mike hasn't got his favorite cards, which are basically any suited connectors he usually raises with, or sometimes makes some gross all-in overbets, but maybe his cards have just been a little bit too ragged for even him.
Well, he's picked up ace-jack from the straddle position, so if there's a bunch of limpers, you wonder if he's going to try to jack it up here and raise it, pick up those limpers.
And the good thing is his last 2 straddles, he folded and really didn't put up much of a fight, so anybody that's paying attention, if he does come out of a raise on a straddle here, they're gonna take notice.
Well, seat number 3 is going to make it 50 to go here. He's got pocket 7s. Now, let's see if Mike plays here with the ace-jack offsuit. He says he has a good hand, but I don't know. Ace-jack offsuit from the blind position for a $50 raise. He's going to lay it down.
Especially against one of the tighter players that's at the table tonight. Well, I guess they've all been fairly tight, comma loose, comma passive, comma who knows what they are.
Thanks, sir.
And that's the third or fourth straddle that we've seen Mike lay down, so it's effectively costing him $20 per orbit, even if he plays no hands. So, at the cost of $60 or $70 an hour just to play poker, that means he's got to rake a fairly large pot at least once an hour just to stay even. There's the hidden downside of trying to get action with a straddle, especially at a table where people obviously aren't really taking the bait.
Well, seat 4 is going to bring this one in for 15. He's got ace-4 of clubs. Seat 5 comes in with king-queen offsuit. Seat 6 has got a 9-10 of hearts. Seat 7's got 3-6 of hearts. And Mike looks to come in with pocket 4s here. So
a lot of
five-way
drawing potential.
Action, $75 pot. Jack, 10 jack. King-queen's got overcards and an open-ended straight draw, a rash in seat 5.
2 open-ended straight draws. Nobody's actually got a pair here. Seat 9, Mike, still in the lead.
30.
He's going to bet $30 here.
Hardosh.
Now, seat 9 is in the lead, but with 2 cards to come is actually an underdog, and he's going to muck it. 8-9 comes in, and he's going to call. And Brian there, who's the original raiser with ace-4, probably is going to release this hand. It's a $135 pot now to the turn.
Okay, we're heads up.
No one's on a spade draw. The turn is a queen, and that's going to give a rash 8-9, but Krush a straight, but Arash has got top pair with the open-ended straight draw now. But seat 6 doesn't have many chips, and he's going to push all in, and he's going to have to dodge a card here. He's in the lead temporarily.
He's going to have to dodge a couple cards, a queen, an ace, a 9,
yep,
a king. No, not a king, excuse me. Queen, ace, or 9.
Well, a king would, and a 7 comes in, he's dodged it, and that's going to be good. 8-9 is going to be good. Yeah.
I needed your 9.
Yes, you needed his 9.
He needed to dodge a queen, an ace, or a 9 there on the river. And
or a jack.
Yeah, or a jack, you're right. So, almost all the paints, except for the king.
Yeah. Pretty much anything over an ace hurts just a little. But that's one of the nice things about having the short stack. You can put in your last $35 and not really worry about it.
Well, to look at it the other way, to chase for an open-ended straight draw, if you were only going to make
board pairing,
if you were only going to make $30 on it, and you're going to call a $30 bet, he probably didn't have odds to do that with such a short stack.
The board paired and a flush draw out there.
Yeah.
At best, you're drawing to 6 cards. If everybody misses the redraw, I agree with you. But again, one of the beautiful things about the short stack, you don't have to think about that type of stuff. I guess might as well purge that last unlucky $50.
25.
This pot looked like it was limped around with a couple of nice hands, ace-jack suited, pocket 10s. Now ace-jack is going to lead, and Arash is in kicker trouble with ace-10. He's going to call. $25 bet from ace-jack, and a call.
I don't think that was pocket 10s, because pocket 10s was under the gun, and it looked like he folded, so
well,
that might be...
He had limped in pre-flop, and then now he just released it. Krush is in there with a gut shot straight draw. Jack comes on the turn.
Ace-jack feeling a lot more comfortable now.
Yeah. Krush has got excuse me, he had second pair there. And now ace-10 mucks and 8-9 mucks.
Good laydown.
And Mike takes it down. Seat 1 with the 8.
So many people these days can't get away from their ace anything, and you know, if ace queen and ace jack are dangerous, ace 10 is a damn train wreck. Okay, it looks like Brian's having a good night after that healthy pot against Tony. Seat 2, Rick started out like a gangbanger, man, and then we just haven't heard much from him. He was on a roll, flopping sets, doubled up almost immediately, and then got whipped in that one hand by Tony, and kind of looks like a beat dog right now, tail between his legs.
35.
Well, David's got the king-queen suited on the button, and he's going to make it 35 to go.
I think that's Mike in seat 9, isn't it?
No. I have David. Maybe it is Mike. And he's going to get called here by seat 4 with pocket 5s. Oh, look at this top pair and a set.
Dangerous.
For Brian. And Brian is going to bet right out on the set. And Mike is probably going to raise.
Okay, folks, there you go. Finally, somebody bets out their trips, comma, set, whatever it is. 3 of the same.
95 plus 60.
And Brian doing a little bit of Hollywooding here.
So, well, actually, Mike has moved over the top all in, and obviously Brian's going to quickly call with a set of 5s. The turn is an 8, and that's going to be good. And a king actually rubs it in more.
Rubs it in for Mike.
Because Mike's got trip kings, but full house takes it.
And that's how that works, folks. Bet out your sets, your trips, your monster hands, and watch somebody that can't get away with from their top pair re-raise you. Not only smooth call against the tightest player at the table who bets into you, but re-raise you with a medium hand.
Cowboy, 200.
And it looks like we're going to have a short buy here from Mike.
Seat 9, please. Seat 9, 200.
And somebody had 2+2 asking how one of our earlier players fared. Nicole, I believe she cashed out for about $1,200 profit, maybe $1,120, somewhere in that vicinity.
Pot's been raised to 45.
Seat 1 is going to raise from the button here, trying to pick up the limpers. He's just got a suited connector. 7-8 of spades. We haven't seen this guy play much.
I kind of like those raises with suited connectors. You know, if it's kind of like a semi-bluff. You give yourself the takedown. You give yourself the opportunity to take down $20, $25 in blinds,
which he does here.
And you know, if you get everybody to call you, that's not so bad either. Because suited connectors work best against 4 or 5 players that are in there for a limp call to raise. So I like that. I like that play. I usually pick like one hand a day, deuce 3 suited, 7-8 suited that I'm going to raise with, as if it's a real hand. As if I need to make people guess anymore, but.
Thanks, Cowboy.
And Tony's been pretty quiet lately, actually. Kind of play them as they come. Seat 8's been quiet. Sometimes he's in there mixing it up. Somebody feed the table Valium tonight, or what's going on? This almost looks like a real poker game.
Yeah, 3-way action here. 9, king, 7, 2 spades. Bunch of garbage in here. Absolutely nothing. It gets checked around. The turn is an 8.
Yes! Queen high has already dominated. I guess Jack 6 has a straight draw now.
An 8 comes on the river. And Queen 3 is good if no one bets. And Rob mucks. And look at this, though. Brian's going to bet here. He's going to bet $10. Pot's about 20, so he's betting 10 to win 20.
And it's one of those things where everybody's looking, why are you betting your ace high? And everybody looks at their cards and says, oh, I can't beat ace high.
And yeah. And
okay.
Look at this. Krush calls with the queen high. He called with the queen high, and he's going to take the pot down. Wow, well.
Okay.
That's
Again,
interesting.
I kind of surprised on that at all. Brian throws out $10 there. I'm usually going to release, thinking it's either ace high or a value bet, neither of which I can beat with queen high. And we're heading into our last half hour here at Live at the Bike. Maybe we get these kids off their Ritalin and get some excitement. But I guess just like every other poker game, everyone seems to have their own dynamic.
15.
$15 raise here from Mike in seat 1 with a queen 10 offsuit. And big blind's going to play king 9 against queen 10. $30 pot. 6-8 deuce, 2 hearts.
It's always interesting for me to watch the more seasoned player kind of slowly build their stacks as the less seasoned players bleed off $100, $200 at a time. We should really get a chart to track the progress of chip stacks on these Live at the Bike events.
You mean the ones that I'm holding right here in my right hand?
Yeah, we need to update
the
chip
count
counts.
by Joker Gaming.
Maybe we get a nice little pie chart or something on who's kicking ass and who's not. And it looks like this is going to add to the rank of hands where we don't even see a pair.
Pocket 4s for sheet 8. A couple of suited connectors. And it's limped around. 6-way action. $30 pot. 5, 10, 9.
And King 7 not looking so bad.
A couple people have top pair. Actually, one person has got a top pair.
$20.
And Mike is going to bet on top pair with 8, 10.
Be interesting. Krush, hasn't been the type of player, or Crouch, I'm sorry, hasn't been the type of player to peel here, but he did just take a couple beats, so now maybe he's in the peeling / chasing mode. Can actually win with a lot more cards than he thinks. Running straight, a king or a heart.
Jack comes on the turn.
That was my best hand.
There's one of the running straight
And
cards.
it goes check, check, and the river's an ace, but you know what? 8, 10 is still good.
Now, if I'm Crouch, I'm going to throw out a little bet here. Now you got 2 overcards to the original board. Straight.
It's going to get checked down.
And wow. 8-10 is going to win it. I think I kind of would have liked a bet there on the river. Usually the scare card or the pretty much scary, horrendously scary board, and Crouch decides not to do it. We got Nardo the dealer back.
I think we negotiated with the painters, and they're going to stop the drilling for the next 20 minutes.
Oh, it's only missing 37. Something's wrong with the belts. See, there's a target right in the bottom.
Machines, what are they good for?
Screwing things up.
Shuffle master. Yeah.
To err is human, but to really screw something up, you need a machine.
Look at Rob. He's got pocket 10s, didn't raise. Seat 4 didn't raise with pocket 9s. And there were 2 aces that were live, and one of them comes out on the flop. Wow.
And, ace 4 and ace 6 held by 2 of the tighter players at the table in the blinds probably would have folded for a healthy raise, and now, they're way ahead.
Now Tony's got an ace with a flush draw on seat 7. Croce is going to bet here with ace 6 now. Let's see what Tony does if he's going to raise it up
I think
here.
he's going to raise it up, drive out the rest of the players.
No, he's just going to call. Well, he does have a draw. Maybe he doesn't want to drive the other players out, but both players are going to muck.
There's about an 80% chance here that the flop's going to bring them a tie, but we'll see. Yep.
The river is a 3, and the board
King
is tied.
kicker.
Aces and 3s to the king. Yeah, Tony's almost free rolling at that point because, the only thing that is going to hurt him is a 6, a deuce, or a 5.
A red deuce, yeah.
Exactly, and if any of those cards are hearts, he's good anyway. So he could have put in a nice raise there.
And yeah, real unorthodox there to see 9s and 10s check it. I mean,
or just limp.
I mean, unless you're playing it the way, some people play 10s the way they play deuces, try to see a cheap flop and flop a set. But I think 10s are a little bit too strong of a hand to constantly limp fold, and hope to hit a set.
Again, we're here live at the bike. My name is Bart Hansen, along with Scott Groves. $300 to $500 restricted buy-in, no limit hold'em game. 5 and 5 blinds. Yellow chips are $5 chips. Purples are 25s, and the blues are $1 tokes.
And a couple things going on here at the bike. Obviously, the construction, as you can see behind there, the black tarp expanding for the Legends of Poker.
Wow, look at this, Mike. He looks like he's pulled the limp re-raise with deuce 7 of hearts under the gun. Because I think that...
Here's the Mike I know.
Yeah. And actually, you know what? He might be in the straddle position. I think that's what it is. He is straddled. And this time he picks up the chips that he lost the last 3 rounds by straddling.
Still don't like it.
Special programming note tomorrow. $200 maximum restricted buy-in, no limit hold'em game. Marker chips. If you guys watched on Saturday night, marker chips are chips that are given out to each player that wins each individual pot. You add up the marker chips at the end of the night, and the person with the most marker chips wins a bounty. Last week it was a $200 bounty. We'll see. You'll have to tune in tomorrow to see what the bounty is. And
Bart, were you doing the commentary on that game?
And, of course, Brandy Roderick. Playboy Playmate. Model. Blonde.
Yeah, whatever. I'm more interested in the chips. Were you doing the commentary on that... that bounty game?
Yes, I was.
Because I had it on in the background when I was at home, and I could not believe the action that was going on to pick up those damn little pink chips, man. People look like they went to their pocket 3 or 4 times on, just calling off their chips and beats trying to win pots with those little pink chips. That's pretty exciting, actually.
Well, we saw one fellow that was in seat 9, had about $900 left with about maybe a half an hour to go. Going for those pink chips and ended up blowing his entire stack.
Nice.
And didn't rebuy either. If you leave the table, you forfeit your chips, but you always have the opportunity to rebuy. Now, Tony in seat 7's got pocket aces here, and he's raised it up, but I think he only raised it up to 20 total. Or actually, yeah, to 20 total, and he gets called by a rash. Oh, flops a set of aces.
Almost overkill now, because what he really needed to see was a king. Tony's got a slow play here for sure. He's praying 8 comes on the turn.
7 comes on the turn.
That doesn't help, and 8s might be getting more confident.
And now King 8 checks again, and now Tony's going to bet.
I wouldn't be surprised here if Arash calls him down, to tell you the truth. He's got middle pair. The 7 looked like a save card. Tony checked the flop. Arash can't put him really on a set of aces here. Well, he's going to call him.
What can you...
Oh, he folds him.
He mucks.
I don't know. You can beat...
Oh, very nice. I'm glad I got out.
King Queen.
King Queen, maybe.
Robert Cam shows a 10.
A real sassy player might check raise there, hoping that the guy was on like queens or kings and will lay it down with the ace on board, but that wouldn't have worked, obviously.
You've been watching too much Saturday Night Live lately, haven't you? From about 10 years ago.
Actually, the only Saturday Night Live worth watching is 10 years ago. Saturday Night Live from these days is no good. All the talent on Saturday Night Live is either OD'd or died of heart attacks.
Ooh, how about this hand? Ace King, pocket queens, pocket 9s, and pocket kings.
Ouch.
Seat 3, he's going to raise here with pocket queens. The Bobby Belan lookalike Rob. He's going to make it 35 straight. Kings is in seat 6. And he's just going to smooth call? He's going to smooth call. And Allen's going to come in with pocket 9s. And
let's see if
probably
seat 2 makes it a gross overbet with ace-king.
No. The way that he's been playing, I wouldn't imagine. But, boy, Kings is just smooth called here. He's going to let that... No, he is. He's going to move it all in.
Now, here comes Queens. He's going to go all in behind. I'm almost positive. And Kings is going to love his situation.
Well, the conservative, slow play of this table, once everyone picks up a big hand, what a huge hand. Well, look at this, though. Rob, he's thinking about laying it down. He's got queens. He doesn't even know if he wants to make the call. Let's see how much it is.
Well, even though we were just about to criticize Crouch's, smooth call with the kings, that might get him the extra action because there's not a raise and a re-raise over the top. So,
look at this. Is he gonna lay it down? 105 here in the pot before this re-raise. It looks like it's another 130. So the pot is now 240 and 130 to call.
And the sad thing is Rob's going to make the right call against the right player, but little does he know is that Kings are waiting in the grass behind him to come in for... Now, if Crouch doesn't go all in here...
Now the pot is 370. The pot is now 370. It's 130 for Crouch back to call, and he only has about 180.
And Crouch is really, I think he's just Hollywooding it up to get the extra 70 or 80 bucks out of Rob, because Rob looked like he wanted to fold real desperately.
So 370 in the pot now. 130 for Crouch to call. Is he going to call or push all in? You'd imagine he's going to push all in.
And if you're Allen in this spot, obviously you know your nines are no good, but now are you getting the odds to put in another 130 to hit your set?
No, absolutely not.
They're almost $600 in there, though.
No, because you can't get paid off anymore.
Of course you can, but I'm just saying there's...
So he's going to move all in.
180, 130, 130.
So now the pot for another 180, it's 550, and Allen's going to have to call 180. So the pot is
I don't
now,
think he has 180 in front of him.
The pot is now 550, 180 for Allen to call.
I don't know. I think Allen's going to make the call, to tell you the truth. It's not going to cost him any more to see all 5 cards. You know, he's only got about... Yeah, I think Allen makes the call here because he's going to get to see all 5 cards for 180 bucks.
Yeah, but he's only getting about 3-1 on his money.
No, he's getting more than 3-1, isn't he?
No, he's putting in 180 to win 550. Now the pot is now about...
We got
the pot is now $730. $730 in this pot. Now, Allen called 180 to win 550 with pocket nines.
Yeah, but there's 180 4 ways plus the original main pot, which is $60 5 ways. So that's another $300.
Well, looks like everyone's all in here. Looking at it, $700 plus pot. Deuce 5 deuce, 2 diamonds. And now Rob is going to move all in. And the question is, Allen's going to make the call.
He only has another $50. He's got to call it.
He's got to realize that his nines are no good.
Of course not, but he's drawn to a 9. He knows that.
Yeah. So now, in the main pot, we've got about 600 on the side. We've got about 200. Kings is still good. The turn is a 4. A 3 could make a straight for an ace. No, it's a 7 of diamonds. And Kings is going to take it all. They're going to take the main, and they're going to take... Yeah, well, they're going to take the main, and Rob is going to take the side with queens. So Rob ends up only losing maybe 100 on the whole.
No, Rob lost more than $100 there, man.
Well, he won some of it back from Allen. He put in the $180 pre-flop to call, and then maybe he won back another 80 from Allen. So he lost 100 total. And seat 6 is the huge winner with kings.
Oh, it's a good time to pick up kings.
Kings, queens, ace, king, and nines. But like I said, no, you're facing a re-raise.
I'm not saying
all
nines.
in, a call all in from an under-the-gun raiser, and you need to put in 180 to win 550 with nines. You got to get away from that.
I'm not saying it's my favorite, but you know he was going to.
Well, ace, king, seat 3 picks up ace, king, seat 4 picks up ace, king.
I agree with Russ on his opinion of how to play the medium pocket pairs.
Heads up, ace king against ace king. Deuce 9-10 rainbow. And you know what? Did both these guys limp in? Can't see the money in the pot. Turn is a 4. Looks like both the guys just limped in. Boy, everyone's playing slow now.
I think that last pot just drained the life out of everyone. There's always a little calm after the storm and no limit hold'em.
Wow. This guy has some kind of hand. Last time I got the guys in the booth.
Mike, what happened? Still in there? No. Did he get knocked out? He didn't stop by. He didn't stop by here. No. So I thought he was still in.
So we have about 10 minutes left in the show, and that's got to be one of the most interesting hands we've ever seen on Live at the Bike. Definitely interesting for best hand of the night tonight. Kings against queens against nines against ace king. pretty much 4 people in, all in pre-flop.
All we needed was me in there with my pocket deuces to flop a set, man.
Scary Papa. He always kills me. Brian? He kills me.
They didn't open up? They're still closed?
What?
They're still closed?
Closed? What? The Commerce. It's officially closed. Until I get back there, it's officially closed.
And actually, the comment I made earlier, Brian making fun of Mike for not allowing back in the casino across the freeway there. They must be closed.
If I'm not there, it's that place.
You post one chip.
It looks like we got a new player in seat deuce.
You guys taking a break? 10 minutes? Yeah. I got a pretty good hammer.
That's Ron there.
I think Ron in seat 2.
That's Rick has left when he got his.
Rick has left the building from leader to bleeder. About 2 hours ago, he had amassed a healthy profit, raising or doubling his hand, doubling his money, and then all went down here quickly. And I think Rob was in the tournament, which obviously he's not any longer. Should be interesting to see if he adjusts for the live game or if he still continues to play the ultra-aggressive quasi-tournament play.
Ace, deuce, 7, rainbow.
And do we have anything here?
Rash has he's put a bet in for king 7. And Mike's going to make the call there with queen jack of diamonds. Interesting. Doesn't really have much of anything unless he's trying to set up play up.
You're on live. You're on live.
Heads up.
And there's Lexi, the beautiful Lexi. The turn is an ace.
And Mike going to bet out here again.
Yeah, Mike actually raised the flop and bet the turn.
Nice.
And he shows the bluff and he takes it down.
Which, oh yeah, it was a bluff because I guess he didn't have king high beat.
I had a queen jack.
Did you?
You're going to see it anyway, so I'll tell you. It's queen jack of diamonds. Can you record it? I just know you had a gut shot. You had a gut shot, right?
You had a pair of 7s, man.
Mike, you can record it onto your hard drive? The whole thing?
You guys thought my laugh was annoying.
It's
Jesus.
treated if you pay a certain amount of money. Oh, they're charging that? Yeah.
No, they don't charge you. Live at the Bike is free.
Yeah, I stopped by.
Just to see the archives cost you a small penny, but as somebody mentioned earlier, if Rick would have been, or not Rick, seat 5. Who's in seat 5 again? Seat 5, Arash, whatever his name is. He could have saved himself about $900 on those quad 5s against Roulette had he subscribed to the $15 Live at the Bike.
30.
King, deuce, deuce.
And deuce 7 folded. Bummer.
Crash bets out with the king, queen, and he's going to take it down in seat 6. He shows the king. Well, you can watch Live at the Bike totally free live, or you can click on the on-demander in the lower right-hand corner of your screen and sign up to get all of the saved action, as well as an instructional DVD from Howard Letter. And geez, we must be up to, well, 20 hours times 30 weeks, at least 500 hours of live action that you'd have access to. It's $14.95, gets you a subscription. You want to also check out www.thebike.com and play in our 3 weekly free rolls that are powered by Pokertropolis.
And there is life after the internet when it comes to poker. Come down and play some live poker, man. We'd like to have some conversation outside of the 2+2 forums. Play some live tournaments. I mean, $100. You get more experience in a $100 tournament than you could sitting here all day risking $500.
5-way action.
You can also be out in one hand, too, with pocket deuces, but that's just me.
It's been limped around. Looks like seat number 2 has hit a set of 7s. And he has. It's Ron.
Let's see if he bets it out here to
New
protect
player.
against the flush draw, even though there's really not a flush draw out there that he can see, but...
Well, you hope that you're going to get paid off here by someone with an ace, too, but unfortunately, no one has a flush draw, no one has an ace, and no one has a 10. Now, Rob in seat 3's got king-jack, but he's been too smart to call with that, and...
That was a quasi-connected board, you know. You bet out there and you don't win a whole lot of money, but the only thing that can happen is somebody hits some type of awkward draw and you get busted with your set. Jack of hearts coming. You have no idea where you're going.
So So this is going to do it for us. This is going to be our last hand. Scott Groves, thanks for joining me.
Yeah, it's been a blast.
Tomorrow night, again, join us for our $200 No Limit Hold'em restricted game featuring Brandy Roderick, Playmate.
Same bat channel, same bat time.
With the pink marker chips, which everyone was a big fan of last week. So check it out. If not for the poker appeal, for the visual appeal.
And if you're in Studio City and you can't make it to the bike, you're more than welcome to come to a home game.
Did you raise? You did not raise.
We'll invite you too one day, Bart, when you're not working so hard. And unfortunately, our last hand of the night's not going to bring a lot of action. A lot of jacks out, queen jack, ace nothing.
Deuce 9 deuce. Robin C3's got a 9.
Ace high pretty healthy ahead here with everybody's jack counterfeited.
Well, Rob's got the jack 9 here.
Oh, my mistake.
5 of spades comes on the turn. Now Tony's going to lead out with ace 6 with the ace of spades, so the nut flush draw. As Rob's been playing really, really passively. He hadn't put out a bet on the flop.
Yeah, if you're not going to bet your top pair on that flop, I definitely wouldn't.
And Crouch comes in there chasing for a smaller flush draw. So if a spade comes, he's going to be in trouble. And the river is a jack.
The case jack.
And Rob has got jacks and 9s, and Crouch has got jacks and deuces. So Rob should get paid off a nice little amount here if he bets enough. He's going to bet 30. Crouch is probably going to make the call. Unless he thinks he was sandbagging a deuce. And he is going to make the call. Jacks and 9s. It's going to take it down.
Jack 9.
Crouch thought it was going to be... He thought his kicker was going to be good, but it's no good. And that is going to do it for us tonight. Again, join us tomorrow night, 6 o'clock Pacific time, for our $200 No Limit Hold'em restricted buy-in game featuring Brandy Roderick. So for my name is Bart Hansen, and for Scott Groves, good night, everybody, from Live at the Bike.
Out.
It's here. It's big. And it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the Bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.